Hello everybody, welcome to the stream today. My name is SenseiSuplex and today we have the likes of Valley of Dreams, aka featuring the Voden Knights of Soulbound. Hope you guys are ready for an awesome epic session as per usual, and hope you guys are ready for some shenanigans, some chaos, and some carnage. Also, special shout outs to all the individuals already in the chat, such as Ambrose, Maxfish, Synthetic Ducky. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are ready for some fun. Right now, I am getting a little bit of the music set up off into the background, so bear with me for just 2 seconds, but besides that, we are ready to go. Alright, there we go. Now we got all this. So yeah, any announcements for anybody in Soulbound? I don't believe so, besides, hey, if you guys don't know, this is one thing. So not necessarily for Soulbound, but for Atlas of Etheria, I most likely won't be streaming that game. It will be happening and all that stuff. I just won't be a player in that game for this week because I'm going to be out doing stuff at that specific time. So if you want to go see that, well, you kind of can't, but I will at least recap everything that happens and all that stuff as well. Also, fun fact, next Saturday, or this coming Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time will be the Devil May Cry one-shot, as we're going to be having that hosted over on, I think, Animus's channel, or my own channel, as I'm going to be playing King, the Bugbear basketball player. It's going to be wacky, it's going to be wild, it's going to be fun. So make sure to check that out when you can. All right, that's all I got for me, so let's switch on over to the other scene. Let's not stop that. Alright, let's go. Alright, hopefully YouTube and Twitch acts right this damn stream. It always acts up for some reason during Valley, but we should be good. Alright,
yelling all over the place by now.
Fake news is too real, bro.
What up?
I mean, there's no such thing as fake news. It's all real news.
Maybe have been the most relaxing, like pre-stream chat we've had in a long time. Appreciate y'all.
That's because one specific person is muted. That's why.
Oh,
well, is that what it was? Oh,
yeah.
You know,
it's relatively calm.
And there it is.
it's relatively calm.
And so,
when one of the two is muted, it's pretty calm.
That's crazy because it's very much so true.
My goodness. My goodness. All right, y'all. Everybody's loaded into Foundry, right?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Oh, and also for the record, just to make sure, so everybody in the Auroraverse knows, Tito, how much HP does Gore of the Meadows have?
73.
All right, are you sure about that?
I'm as sure as it's gonna be. I don't want to hear nothing.
All right,
nothing.
Are you positive?
Nah, because next session he gonna come in with like 105.
Wow.
Be like, hey man, I was messing with my character sheet, bro.
People, bro. It'd be your own people.
Yo, I just read this lore drop number 4. That's crazy. I've never read that one before.
How have y'all? I haven't even changed this since like the last one. That one is
I don't
old.
know. I don't know. I've never read that one. I've always read like the lore challenge, but I've never read the lore drop number 4 over there.
Oh wow. Oh man, as soon as you say that, I bet I'm gonna see like a whole bunch of people just start joining into Foundry just to read the lore challenge. Oh man,
It's just pretty cool.
All right, well, in the meantime, we got everything ready to go, so let me start playing the intro music, and we'll be starting there. All right. So, if I could have each and every single one of you all gather around the table, and let me tell you all a Voden fable. To gather around for the tale of these survivors, for this, my friends, is the tale of the looming corruption, and that of a jaded destiny. This is the story of Valley of Dreams, and the legendary fable of the Soulbound. Previously, the Voden Knights would gather for a night's rest, but would be alerted as they'd hear an intruder finding their way into the village. Said intruder was found to be a tabaxi of many tales and Fabio, the traveling wanderer of Voden. Explain how they'd met the Soulbound of differing areas and more. However, after explaining their intentions, they'd be allowed a drink in the newly built tavern of the Voden Knights. After a quick drink in the tavern, Azora Lunisto, however, would escort the individual out before gathering the knights for their next task and their next plan of action, heading towards the floating islands above. They'd grab even the likes of Gashir, the Noxious Blade, the Myconid General, for this hunt. As the knights would arrive to the floating islands, or at least below them, they'd also be met with a strange set of individuals. An inoculi, a satyr, and a strange humanoid individual with blue hair and more. However, this oculi's name being Kaio of the Tsamada oculi tribe, and eventually a brief truce would be formed between these two major parties. However, after realizing they have similar goals of traveling to the Tsamadan island, how will these two parties coexist? We'll have to find out in session 19 of Valley of Dreams. And with that, my friends, we pick back up exactly where we left off as we go back over here. Let me swap maps for you and let me change this. Alright, bam, 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 and this one should be good. Alright, there we go. Alright. Repeat. Should be good. So, as we return to exactly where we left off, we look over and find the knights seeming to be almost conversing with one another after making a brief joint alliance between the two. Azora, Agni, Zaman, you look over towards these other three individuals, definitely of interesting nature and interesting makeup, but regardless, we look over as well towards Gore and Addydark as you guys are looking and searching through this building, not finding much resources as you guys already looked for last session, not really finding much with Gore, but Addydark, you could always try to give it another sort of attempt, maybe with Gore's aid as well. Regardless, as you two are scrounging around in the buildings, Cora, you seem to be sort of checking out the perimeter and making sure that everything is okay, making sure that these individuals are truly alone as they mentioned before. Looking around, Cora, you see as, well, it's more of you haven't been able to shake this strange feeling of familiarity to this area, familiarity to the islands above. You're not sure why, you're not sure how. But regardless, we'll start with you, Cora. As you're waiting for all these individuals to do as they do, what is Cora thinking about, and what is Cora doing in this moment in time?
She is, making sure, homies ain't trying to hop out the bushes and get a drop on them. Because originally one person came out and then the others started to follow. I think is that the order that happened?
Yeah, you kind of noticed one of them kind of shifting off in the bushes, and then the other one seemed to be a simple bunny rabbit before eventually shape-shifting into a whole human.
Okay, yeah, so she's just checking, making sure that there's no one else trying to get the drop on them. And that'd be it.
Simple as that. Make a perception check while you're at that then, Cora. 21.
21.
As you begin to look around towards your surroundings, you do see as, for the most part, it is clear. There are no more rustling bushes, there aren't any individuals necessarily hiding out, but also there aren't even any sort of animals as well. Looking over and around, you do see as up above in the clouds, there are a bit of rolling gray clouds coming in from a pretty decent distance away, but it's only a matter of time before the rain begins to start pouring. You're able to at least clock that for a little bit. But besides that, nothing else you really see with your perception. Are you going to reside here, or are you going to join the others, or do something else entirely?
She's gonna join the others, and as she's walking by, she'll like yell out to Gore, and I think Addie's still up there.
Yeah.
And just letting them know that the rain is coming. the rain. Expect rain is what she'll say,
Yeah.
and then she'll tell Agni and the others over here, especially Agni because of the whole water thing. She doesn't know how he deals with the rain, so
I mean,
she'll.
he's been in rain before.
Yeah, but I mean, like, she don't know, like, you've been in rain, but do you like to be in rain? Would you rather not be in rain? And so she just it gives the team just a notice that, hey, expect rains.
Easy. As you begin to do so, Cora, you call out towards the likes of Addy Dark and Gore, and we'll look over towards these two for a moment as you two, I assume, are searching for things inside. What are you two doing in here?
Gore was initially just watching the back and watching if we had to get the drop on the new folks come in. But if that's not an issue, if Gore needs to start searching around and it's clear, then he'll search around a little bit before we get to them.
All right, easy enough. So if that's the case, you can make a investigation check, but if anybody is helping you, then by all means you can do so as well.
Investigation check, man.
All right. Let's see. 19, and then looking around and about, it's a little difficult for you to find much, but you're able to find at least a little bit more than what you gave yourself. You're able to get yourself last time. At this point, now that there's not necessarily a, how you say, a random animal inside the house, just kind of running around again, distracting you. You look over and you're able to find a couple of things. Where is it? You find a couple of coins inside, as well as a bit of useful materials that you kind of overlooked a little while ago. Besides that, you even see an occasional sort of mana crystal on top of that. Overall, just by yourself, you're only able to get a total of 4 materials, 2 mana, and then 2 soul coins.
Okay. How much? 2 mana, 2 materials, 2 soul coins. Gotcha.
Yep. Alright, there you go. So, Gore, while you're sort of looking around and you overhear Cora, Addy Dark, what are you doing at this moment in time? Or are you doing relatively the same thing?
So I was just on the roof, just ready to pounce if things went sour there. But seeing that apparently we're going to buddy up with these folks, I would just do a quick, probably just scale downwards and keep it moving.
Easy enough. As you do, you climb down, begin to gather forth with the rest of the knights and more. Alright, Gore, as you begin to eventually grab your things and collect yourselves, as Cora reports the news towards Agni, Zaman, and Azora, what are you 3 talking about or doing?
I'd assume we're probably talking about how we're going to get up there, because I believe Zaman mentioned summoning some birds, so who's going on what and who doesn't need assistance as they're kind of coming over here. So I guess I was gonna say, I guess with the news that Cora reports, Agni will start us off by saying, "It seems time is of the essence. I wouldn't want to be caught in the air with a potential storm coming. Are we all set to move?"
You see Azora just nods.
Cora would nod too.
Gore would more or less toss you the materials and be ready to go.
As you begin to do so,
for
you
it.
will see and hear as Kaio, the individual wearing a little bit more naturalist kind of attire, more attire fit for kind of just roaming the lands and traveling. You'll see as they begin to say, as their eyes begin to shine just a little bit, they begin to sort of go a little bit with the wind for a moment and say, judging by the wind, we wouldn't have much time anyways. Those clouds that you pointed out, and he'll say that looking towards Cora. Regardless of what we do, we're probably going to hit them. if we get a head start, it may not be as bad, but we'd be heading into a storm, no matter what.
Cora would say, then we should really make haste. If we're gonna hit the storm, at least let us at least hit the beginning part and not the middle.
I agree. These means of flight, as I believe I mentioned before, I can shapeshift into an animal capable of flight. My companions, however, cannot. How would you all travel there?
Two of us already have aerial movement. I believe Zaman can handle the rest.
Actually, wait. Zaman, you're muted if you're saying anything. I think you might be going for a second. Yeah, you're muted on Discord if you're saying something. I must be gone for a minute. Alright. But I'll assume control of his character for the time being. I can kind of assume what Zaman.
Oh yeah. Addy, can you take it away? What Zaman would say?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was gonna say if you guys need a someone to
Yeah,
just
yeah.
be
Oh, nah.
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
No.
What?
Can you pick up Addy Dog and fly him? I will summon mechanical hours for the rest of the team.
I fully expected beep beep boop beep bop 11011.
I don't know which headcanon. All right. I'll tell you what. Addy Dog, if you want to go with this canon, that means Chris can do the same to you when you're not here.
That's fine. I mean, as long as you don't have me hugging up on no night creatures, that would be good.
All
I
right.
ain't gonna make him do nothing he shouldn't be doing. I'm gonna make him sound funny when he's doing it, though.
Calm down. Go away. I'm here.
Wisconsin
Then
internet, man.
problems got
Yeah,
resolved.
bro. Through all the waves of the internet, he heard that, bro. He heard that.
Oh man.
What were you saying, Agnes?
Yeah, repeat it.
Okay, hold on. So Agni's gonna point over because he's making it a point to not say names. So he's gonna point over at Gore and say, "Him and myself can handle aerial movement. I believe my friend over here can handle the rest."
Yes, as long as everyone is okay with flying on mechanical owls, we should be good to go.
You'll see as the individual, this one will begin to speak and say, well, yes, I suppose it'll be fine. Not really my sort of normal thing, but we can adjust. I'll see the other individual with blue hair will begin to nod, but that said, they will kind of be a little bit more interested on exactly how this process is made, because they're kind of looking around for any like mechanical owls like you may have stored somewhere, but they don't really find much of anything, and they'll keep a cautious sort of posture and a little bit of a inquisitive face, but they'll go along with this for now. Well. Very well, so, is there any... You all seem to be equipped for the flight and travel. Is there anything else you need to do before we head there?
No, let's try to beat the eye of the storm, like Cora said.
Very well.
I'd recommend anyone that is in flight to stay by me, just in case any unforeseen circumstances and you end up falling out of the sky.
As this is sort of said, you'll see as they, some of the individuals begin to nod, but Kyle will just say as he's sort of crouching down for a little bit, you'll see as he looks over, also, be careful. I haven't been here in probably almost a year now at this point. Things could have changed. Well, things definitely have changed, I can assume. The last time I was here was before, well, the Starred Ones took over the lands in the sky and more. I hope and wish that my clan is still here and alive and well, but even if they are or even if they're not, they would not take kindly to outsiders or strangers. Don't provoke them if you can help it. It won't end well for any of us, not even me. That's it. So as he kind of begins to drop down and slowly begins to start shifting his form and nature, feathers will begin to start spreading out from the likes of his back and more as he grows wings, and his entire head begins to shift towards the likes of an eagle. As it does so, he wild shapes and begins to start flying upwards towards the floating islands in a complete sort of vertical direction. That's it. Are you guys following them?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I'll conjure the mechanical owls and have them form a flight formation around Agni.
Just so I can make sure and get an idea. So how many owls are you summoning, and then who's on which owl?
Like, how many? All right, so we got Cora, myself, Azura, these two. So that's.
I forgot Gashir was here. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
don't worry. He is
yeah,
terrified.
Yeah,
I
came
forgot we
over
gotta
to-
do it.
Yeah, she came over to reassure him. She said she just pretty much came over to say, "Saddle up. You're about to take your first flight. Remove them roots from the ground. Let's go."
Wait, hold on. I mean, like, we're going to actually fly into that storm? You're crazy. Nah, this is a joke, of course. You jest. Okay, what are we actually doing?
She just deadpan stares at him and then keeps going.
Wait,
Yeah, I could summon eight owls. So I think that's enough for everybody.
yeah, alright. So, like, one for... Well, here, let me get into that in 1 second. The last sort of thing you'll hear is Gashir is just like, wait, come back. Wait, hold on. Wait, and he'll just fucking starts sprinting over towards Azora, but as that's happening, so, Zaman, so that's 8 owls. Let's see how many people we got. So, Kaio doesn't need to... If you don't need to be
Yeah,
on an owl, just, like,
I'm
move
over
yourself
here.
in the water, yeah. Gore, you don't need to. You can fly yourself. Are you bring your ass back over here?
Nah, bro. I can't ride on owls, bro. I can't ride mechanical owls. I got Gore or Agni carrying me up.
That's gonna be rough. That's
They got the strength, bro. I believe in them.
they really don't. They really
They got the
don't.
strength, bro. I believe in them.
That's a terrible idea.
Help, bro. I'll help you. I'll help you with the strength. Don't worry.
How, Sway? How?
Hey, yo, if he wants to
Doesn't even
risk
make
his
sense.
life, bro, let him risk his life,
Bro,
bro.
let's just go.
I just don't even want to carry him.
I
Or
really
like-
appreciate it.
And we
Nah,
already know
there's no way he's carrying
Addy. Gore ain't able to carry him. So
Gore would try his damnedest if that was what was requested of him.
you got 10 strength and you are tiny size. That
Oh.
ain't happening. I
That's
allowed it
what
at the
it
beginning. And I realized how stupid
Oh,
that
really?
is. That is not happening.
Oh, okay.
How
Just-
much?
just
Okay,
Agni-
how much does Addy weigh?
How much
I
is
don't
that
know
anyway?
where to get that, bro.
I mean,
have
it's
no
your
idea.
character. You can kind of decide.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know
pretty
how
much.
tall or how much he weighs.
Well, he's about to be a dwarf today.
That would have been better for character. Can't call it now. It would have been hilarious if that was what was going on.
No, I'm so I'm a middleweight. I always said it was a middleweight build because I modeled him after a middleweight. MMA
How
fighter.
How much is that?
It's like 170, 175.
Okay, I can carry up to 220 pounds with the items I have.
Oh, bam! Pff, How many items you got though, bro?
No, that's what I'm saying. I
Oh
can carry
yeah,
up to
then
220.
I'm under. Yeah, I'm definitely under that.
Okay. And then what's your movement speed typically with the winged boots?
30.
30. You're gonna be moving
Gore-
like a snake.
Gore would help.
Oh, stupid.
Gore would help any way he
Oh,
could
no.
with the
Out
situation.
of curiosity, if I shift into something more aerodynamic, like a duck per se, would that help?
Nah, bro. Nah. It's gonna be trugging along. So 15 feet, you'd be going 15 feet of movement per 6 seconds.
Yo, come on, bro. My owls move at 60, bro. That's flat without dash. Come on,
Can you make a non-mechanical one?
bro. Nah, he really can't.
I can RP that too if you want. I could ask him on that. That's the other thing we could do. I'm okay with that. I can RP that if you want.
I mean, he ain't never made one. I guess he could. I don't think that's how that spell works, though. I don't know if I could make 5 mechanical, 1 non-mechanical.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, did their thing not import? Let me do that. That'd be kinda important. Oh, it didn't. That's fine. So, yeah, well, if that's the case, Addy Dark, what are you saying over towards? Well, here, actually, we'll deal with that probably last. Let's make sure we got everybody else set up.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
Addy Dark is struggling.
If it works with the spell, I don't mind RPing for it to work. I don't mind that.
All right, and Cora, how are you getting up here? Do you have like normal flight by some means, or are you gonna have to ride a owl?
She's riding the owl.
Okay, so I'm gonna move you back over here so I can just organize groups. Okay, they're gonna ride an owl together. Keep it simple. Be 2 people per thing. Zor, you riding an owl with Gashir.
Oh, it's 2 people per owl?
I was gonna say each person can have their own owl.
Okay, cool, dope.
Yeah, I can summon. Yeah, everybody can have their own owl.
Yeah, you have enough. All right, perfect. If that's the case, so yeah. Now it's just this whole thing with Addy Dark and Gish, or Addy Dark and Zaman. All right, so what are you two saying to one another?
Given that I know Celestial, I'm gonna have this conversation with Celestial because I'm a little embarrassed, but we should have this conversation. Zaman, you know my disgust for mechs. Mechanical beast at that. Can you summon something of a more fleshy type?
This is something I have never attempted. My powers come from more minerals and metallic type things, but I guess if I can make plants grow, I could probably summon a actual natural owl. Let me try to see if I can do 5 mechs and or 6 mechs in 1 actual owl, and then he'll still summon 8 total, but he'll try to make one of them just a natural owl for Addy Dark.
All right. So Zaman, as you're trying to do so, you're trying to understand like exactly where to sort of start. When it came to most of your druidic powers, it's kind of just been a case of it happening. Most of the time, not even due to your own will, it kind of just randomly does so. You try to look towards the lands, you try to look towards the animals and more to see if you can replicate it in some way, shape, or form. But how would you imagine Zaman is trying to cast a spell or trying to sort of summon and call forth for 1 owl?
He's going to he's gonna think about the fleshy owlbear that Addy and Gore and Traw killed in comparison to the mech that he tamed, and then he's gonna try to replicate that like owlbear, like how he perceives it, in contrast to the mech, and that's how he's gonna try to make the regular owl versus a mechanical one.
All right, this is gonna be weird, but I need you to make a nature check, and we're gonna add your wisdom modifier on top of that.
And if there's any way I can help with his role, given that he is doing this for me, yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, you can, but how you gotta just describe how you're gonna try to help him.
You know what? I just realized all of my RP would not probably help him.
I mean, you could probably describe an owl. I mean, that would probably help.
What I would do is, Addy, is I would actually like shift into Wereduck and be like, with the wings, fleshy, just to give him some like you know how he's doing like a sketch, like an artist is doing like a portrait.
Yeah.
You know, giving him an actual thing to look at. You know.
For reference, sure thing. I'll give you that. Okay. Make it with advantage then.
Copy. He's gonna cast guidance on himself because he has no idea what he's doing. So he's gonna hope that helps him. All right, let's do this.
Maybe like one of your French girls.
Hope for the best.
11.
Guidance.
gonna add your wisdom modifier, so that's a 14 plus a guidance for a total of 18. So 18 between the likes of you two. It takes a bit, and so there's good news and there's bad news. Bad news is you don't make a fleshy owl. The good news is you make an owl. You would notice as for this one, you try to sort of summon bits of the fleshy sort of nature, but what instead begins to sort of form is the rocks around you begin to slowly rise up. They begin to collect themselves. All the minerals in the entire area begin to form into a sort of bird-like shape and form. As you make an owl almost completely out of rock, stone, and dirt, the natural elements. It's almost similar to that of a stone golem in a way, but it's not a mechanical one, it's more natural. This should be able to suffice for now.
That sounds like the best Zaman could do. That sounds about right. He says, well, it's not fleshy, but it is not mechanical either.
Ah, I see. We do have something in common. A love for the earth. Now let me tell you something. Have you ever heard of greenhouse gases?
Oh, God.
Yes, is when the sun penetrates glass atmosphere and creates a heat effect.
Yes. What you should try and do more on your spells is be carbon neutral. It really goes a long way. Like, composting and trying your best to be carbon neutral is probably the best things you can do. But I always respect that.
You
Come on,
do
remember,
understand
this earth is ours. We have to
you
keep it.
understand the
you know?
mechanical creatures don't actually use any form of fuel, correct?
I thought you had fuel, motor oil. No, it's not diesel. Aren't you?
That's not. This is not how this works at all.
Why don't you tell me all this on our flight up? Thank you for the
Funny thing
I guess I
is-
would call it a earthly owl.
Funny thing is, even though V is like making this shit up, it's actually canon anyways, because there is like actual oil and like gas they would use in the Azure Taiga. So he's not just actually spewing out of his ass. Oh man.
It's a specialty craft to make shit up that good. Still makes sense.
Well, regardless, as one by one you all begin to hop onto an owl or begin to fly up by your own means and own ways, let me describe what you kind of see on the way up. Let me move this. Where's bam, bam, bam. There we go. So, as you all begin to fly up high into the sky via your various means and ways, you soar upwards to the islands above. Each and every one of you, you feel as the wind pressing upon your faces as you fly at a rapid velocity. Especially for those on the owls, but for some of you who are not necessarily akin to flight, like Azora and Korra, it does leave you a little bit, or both a bit, uneasy. Azora, you probably more so as you're not necessarily a Warforged, and feel just something in your stomach just not sort of sitting right. Regardless, as this is sort of happening, you feel yourself nearly falling off balance, but eventually you're able to right yourself. Now, as you guys are looking up and above towards the area and more, this is again just a quick little reference to get the general idea of where you're kind of headed in a way. Not 100% accurate, but there you go. But as you look up over and over, you see as you get closer and closer towards the clouds, before everybody make a perception check. Let's see. Yeah, this would be with sight.
Oh God.
Oh,
All
man.
right.
Oh man.
I see the power of friendship has helped out me and Zaman.
You either see it or you don't.
All right. So Korra, you're more of like focusing on, staying on to the likes of this mechanical owl without flying off completely. Agni, you're more focused on like actually trying to keep pace with the individuals, as though you're kind of dashing. It is a little bit of a tiring kind of exercise, but you're flying up as you can. Gore, same sort of thing. You're kind of speeding along and then also trying to catch up and keep pace with the owls as much as you can, and also making sure the big one, Agni's not falling too far behind. Azora, Addydark, Zaman, however, you all begin to look up, and you see you hear thunder and lightning beginning to crash and crackle amongst the sky. You see the brief bits of flash from the lightning up above. When it's more of instead of a bluish sort of take, or even that of a yellow, it's more of a purple or pinkish type of lightning. As this is happening, you see as the clouds are beginning to form overhead, and this journey is taking a while. Eventually, 1 raindrop, 2 raindrops, and eventually you guys notice as rain is starting to pour upon your faces as the storm is beginning to occur. But regardless, as you're all soaring up and through the rain, is there any conversations being held on the way there, or are you guys just on business, just getting there as fast as you can? Because it takes you at least, this is very, very high up, and you guys are going at a somewhat slower pace, because you're only as fast as the slowest person, so it's taking you like about 5-10 minutes.
Is it like extra rainy, or is it like a light brisk rain?
It's pretty light, but you could see it's definitely that thing of like it can probably get a lot worse very, very fast.
I think Gore, since he's probably the most flight okay person, like even though he's slowing down a little bit, he's kind of enjoying the rain because it's kind of taking a little bit of the sun sizzle off of him. Because it's bright out right now, right? Yeah. It's almost like Gore is flying up and kind of enjoying himself and steaming a little bit as he goes.
Nice.
If is this, I don't know if this is going to be ruled as like a skill challenge or anything like that, but if Agni was ever getting too far, he could cast this spell to like increase his movement speed.
Which spell?
I mean, he can either cast haste on himself or Astrolonda's stride. Just throwing that out there if that ever was like he's getting way too far behind.
Gotcha. All right, I'll keep that in mind. So, that said, is there any other conversations or things being done while you guys are looking up, or are you guys good to go?
Cora is currently got this owlbear in a chokehold because she is fearful of her life.
You see,
so any conversation that would be going on involving her, she got the cobra clutch on this owlbear.
As you do, you're kind of struggling, you're flying a little bit, and you see as it's sort of veering off to the left and right. Zaman, you can definitely notice that she is struggling a little bit, but it's rough.
Zaman would come over. He technically has control of the owl, so he's gonna come over and he says to Cora, Cora, relax. Remember, as you say, Auroraverse has your back. There's nothing to fear.
She does take some comfort into that, mainly because you mentioned Auroraverse. So you'll see her like kind of ease off, like the grip is still there though, but it's not as tight as it once was.
Yeah, Cora, just for the sake of it, make an animal handling check for me.
Yeah, see, this is what I get for talking. Animal
8. It's not bad. It's more.
She got that thing in the chokehold again.
You hear it. It's everything's good. You ease up a little bit for a brief moment, and then as it sort of happens, you're like, okay, this is fine. Before another crashing, another crackling of lightning begins to occur before you nearly are thrown off as the owls are sort of startled for a brief moment. You begin to immediately put it in a cobra clutch hold once more as you kind of repeat the process, but you're working through it with a little bit of Zaman's aid, and you're getting it down eventually. But as you all begin to look up and see the purple streak of lightning begin to form in the clouds, and you also notice that it also forms amongst the island. However, where unlike lightning, you would all just see a flash and it disappear. Not this light, though. You see as it flashes, the purple light begins to stay, and then begins to pulse, pulse before you hear another lightning strike and thundering boom. As it crashes, you look over, and Zaman with your 22 and At Dark with your 21, you begin to notice that something's definitely up. Addy Dark with your natural affinity to the elements, there is one that you've never necessarily tried to train under: lightning, but you at least know a little bit. Zaman, you knowing the elements and being able to call lightning storms down before, you notice as this is not lightning. These aren't lightning strikes at all. You see with each sort of purple striking or purple flash, these are rifts. Rifts going through the island. As you begin to notice this, you look over, and oh boy. 1 second. One moment. There we go. Hold on 1 second. I'm just being stupid again. You look over and you see as the rifts begin to start forming left and right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 eventually, before you all begin to witness in front of your eyes an explosive sort of aura begins to emanate as you watch as the island begins to start crashing into several pieces right before you all. Voden Knights, as this begins to happen, you see as bits and pieces of it begin to start hurling their way towards you, at first starting with small sort of rocks and boulders off to the side, before you begin to look up and see entire land masses coming down directly towards you. As this begins to happen, you'll see as Kaio in his hawk-like form will begin to start squawking immediately. A couple of the owls begin to start shifting and almost trying to sort of hold themselves amongst the wind as the storm begins to get even worse and worse. And with that, as all of the floating islands beginning to explode and crash towards you all, Voden Knights, it seems that you're all gonna get another chance for victory against these islands, as it's time for a revenge skill challenge. Here we go. All right. Oh my, you and these damn islands, bro. You and these damn islands. All right, here's how this works. I'm going to change maps in just a minute, but for right now, I will leave it on this. I'm going to quickly recap the skill challenge if you don't remember. It's been a couple weeks, but essentially, here's what this is. Skill challenges work the following ways. Players must choose skills that they are either proficient in or have expertise in, and utilize said skills to aid in flying and avoiding the likes of this giant landmass, while also aiding their allies to make sure they don't get, hit by a giant rock and falling off to their death. So that means it's time to get creative. Once the skill has been used, such as like athletics, then no one can use the athletic skill again for the rest of the skill challenge. Someone will have to use something different. On top of that, we're not necessarily worrying about mechanics here, as we're worrying about the story and narrative of each and every one of you and how you use your abilities and how you tell the story of how you're able to succeed and help your allies also succeed. Everybody with me so far? Any questions on mechanics or reminders on how that stuff works?
Good to go.
All right. Also, Addy Dark, if you didn't see from chat, you did receive inspiration from Max earlier. So make sure to keep that in mind.
Oh, many blessings, many blessings.
All right, y'all. You failed last time, so this one now the sort of degree has risen even higher, as you guys got another chance. So, Voden Knights, you will need to make at least 7 successes for this one. 7 total. However, if you fail a total of 4 times, then you guys will begin to or the entire island will crash upon you all, and you will be sent to your almost eventual and assured deaths down below towards the ground. That said, the DC has been adjusted, but you can also use your other allies, or you can even use the NPCs if you want to get creative and have them be able to help you out on some way, shape, or form. Regardless, let's do this. Everybody good to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Can I kind of like
man.
talk to these islands? Like,
Can we negotiate?
You can
Boris,
talk, but
Boris
whether they'll
yelled at
listen.
a sky or two in his day.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
Gore
just
is yelled
waiting
at the
for
mist, so.
Commander Agni, bro. Get us in formation.
Oh man. All right, let's do
Who's
this.
the aviator? Who's the most aviator of us all?
Oh boy, y'all ain't ready for this map. I had a lot of fun making this one. So you look
Is this our
around.
Top Gun era?
You'll see. You look around and you see as all the bits of debris are falling down, not just land, not just dirt and stone and minerals, but you see actual buildings beginning to drop down, crashing into one another as they break, falling down into many pieces and many bits of debris. As this occurs, you even notice as trees are falling down from the sky, as well as other sort of, how you say, furnishings. But we'll get to that right now. Oh boy. Welcome to the show.
Fun, no fun.
Here we go. Now, for reference, this is kind of the building, a rough representation of the building and where you guys were just at. Now, if you want an idea of exactly how far in the sky you are, you're about 200 feet in the air at the moment. Yeah, about 200 feet. It's bad. It's very, very bad. You don't want to fall, or you're going to take, I believe, a total of 20 d6 falling damage on the way down. It is not good. All right. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so top of the round, or not top of the round, but top of this sort of skill challenge. You guys have 7 successes that you need. Who would like to start us off with this one?
Azura will tuck her head. Oh wait, let me not move myself. Tuck her head like kind of to the side of the owl, and essentially just use her sight to avoid anything to move through.
You got it. So this is going to be your perception check. This is done so with advantage because of Oculi's sight, but you can also have allies. Well, hold on, don't roll now. Come on.
My fault.
You're always too excited to roll some dice. But if you want, you can have another individual try to assist you to be able to lower the DC even further. Joyce, is anybody trying to help Azura like spot out the likes of these ruins and bits of debris?
Quick question, just real quick question. To help, you need to have proficiency in that skill, correct?
Not necessarily. You don't have to like
okay.
make a real roll for it if you already have proficiency in it as well. But if you don't have proficiency in the skill, you're just gonna have to get creative on how you're helping.
Okay. You can go ahead, Zaman. Just want to ask that.
Yeah, Zaman is gonna help. He's gonna use the owls, and pretty much wherever Azor is pointing to, he's gonna make sure the owls maneuver in the same way to make sure that she can get a good point of view.
All right. As this begins to happen, you're trying to point out exactly where you guys need to go, and eventually, Azora, as you begin to yell out, making call-outs with the likes of the owls, you fly up a little bit ahead of the pack and begin to sort of maneuver and sort of direct everybody's attention on where to go and where to sort of avoid. As this happens, 18 will be able to reduce the DC thanks to Zaman. That will now be a success. The group continues to move forward with their first of 7. As this is happening, you all look over and you see as now you're getting closer towards it, but you're rushing straight forward into a massive sort of structure that's falling from before. You look around to the left and the right and you see as there's nothing or no way to necessarily run, nowhere to necessarily run through. That said, who's going to try to stop the likes of this massive sort of building almost getting ready to collapse and almost strike into all of you? Time to get creative now.
I think I can do something. As Agni notices this, he is going to increase his movement speed to try to get ahead of everyone to somehow stop this. And since he's flying by himself, he has both his hands free for him. And for the first time, you're going to see his hands glow. They're going to glow extremely hot as fire is coming from his fingertips. And as the fire comes from his fingertips, they're going to strike into the building but nothing happens for a brief second, and a second later, the building explodes as he casts Fireball to try to destroy the building, so smaller pieces are coming at us.
All right. So that's going to be a for you. Which skill would you be trying to use for that? Arcana?
I guess Arcana. I mean, it's not really an attack, so that's probably the best thing I could think of.
All right. So that's going to be Arcana for you. Is anybody else assisting Agnes? He begins to fly over towards it and try to ignite the entire building.
I don't know if anyone's got anything to follow up with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I already helped Azora, so I don't think I can help again.
Could be.
So right now,
Go ahead.
Agni's ahead of us, right?
Yes.
All right, then yeah, my idea wouldn't work.
Gore? Yeah, like this is Gore. If anybody, Gore, you can jump up there and do something?
I'm trying to figure out how I could jump up and help this fireball. I can't really like justify it. I'm trying. I'm trying. Like,
So,
all
all
right,
good?
can I help again, Sensei?
Probably not, because you just helped last time, so it's going to be either if Gore's got an idea, if Core's got an idea, maybe Addy Dark, any of you guys.
Can you, Gore, can you fly up and kind of slash the building? Put a little,
I mean, I could try.
put a little groove in there. Give me something to aim at, you know, and then you blast through it. Just structural soundness, bro. All you gotta do is
Well, all right.
remember in Avatar when they were
Yeah,
trying to destroy the train, bro?
if you want Gore to help, Gore is gonna.
I got it.
Gore's gonna zip up since he's clearly fast enough to get it together. And Gore felt like he was interrupted from like actually enjoying the rain, and what he's actually gonna do is he sees the big one throwing this fireball at this building, and Gore is just kind of just pissed and angry, and he's gonna real quickly call that lightning brand or whatever, and he's going to yell, "Why are the skies always disturbing us? Crush this one too, big one!" And he's basically just gonna follow up behind the fireball.
You got it. As you begin to combine fire and lightning, Agni, make an Arcana check with advantage. 21, there you go. That'll be enough to do it. As you begin to incinerate the likes of the building, Gore, you look over and you see as bits of debris are actually falling down left and right. Smaller things, but smaller things that you can definitely carry out yourself. You strike into one bits of the wall or one of the building's walls, completely severing it in half. Immediately zipping over towards another, you crash and slash and you crush everything in your path. With the two of you, that will be one success. Good stuff. That is 2 out of 7. Go ahead, Agni.
Yeah, as he's doing that, you would hear as there's bits of debris everywhere, much smaller. Agni yells back, "The way is now clear. Press forward."
As you begin to
Press forward, big one! And Gore is now just a little angrier, zipping up a little further ahead, trying to play a little bit of point.
All right. As this is sort of happening, you see as you begin to rush forward more and more and more as you destroy the likes of the building. Eventually you see as now at this point, the wind is getting at almost too much for all of you. It seems to be as some of you, or especially who are on the owls, are almost seeing as they're almost getting thrown back and their turbulence is sort of going all out of order and whack. You look around and it seems to be that there's not much you can really do unless someone does something pretty much arcane and fast. So, who's going to try to assist with this and try to help with the likes of the winds, or try to at least control everybody's owl bears to get them through this sort of, or get them through this storm?
I'll take it. So Zaman is going to see, he's going to get all of his owls in unison, and he's going to follow Agni's lead. And he's going to try to predict the path of the storm. So he's going to try to look at like the weather patterns, the wind, and try to predict it so they can maneuver the owls correctly.
Okay. All right. What skill is this going to be then?
I always think it's survival.
Survival? I can see that. All right. Is anybody else trying to help Zaman in any way, shape, or form?
I could help with this unless someone else has something. Okay, I'll go. So as he's doing that, there will be in order to help steady the owls, a fire sort of ignites underneath everyone's owl, as you see Agni quickly casting Featherfall to sort of steady the flights of all the owls to make it a little bit better in terms of navigating the winds, so they're not jumping around so much. There's not so much turbulence.
Easy enough. I like it. I like it. So, Zaman, make a survival check with advantage. 17. Oof.
I will. He will use his Oracle's Insight and roll that D10.
All
Haven't
right.
used it yet.
Let's see. Make it roll a d10. All or nothing.
Bruh!
Ah! No! The gods don't like you today.
They
So,
don't.
as you begin to do so, Zaman, you look over and it's not going to be enough. Even with Agni's help, you see as the Featherfall is helping and assisting, but the the owls are still sort of rushing them back left and right, almost throwing your allies off of them completely. You look over and try to guide them and try to control them for a moment. And as this happens, you look over up in the sky and you see a sort of surge of purple electricity for a moment. You see a sort of humanoid figure and more as you see a brief visage of the Stormfather. As this happens, you try to obey or you try to manipulate their storm or try to fight through it. They will offer you a worthy challenge. You see as more and more of the wind begins to blow past you, almost throwing you completely off of your owl. You have to almost sort of fall off and almost grab onto one of their legs and try to hoist yourself back on. But that will sadly be one singular failure as the gods get in your way once more. All right, Zaman. That is Zaman's turn, so we're at 2 for 1. Anybody else want to help with this? As you notice, as left and right individuals are falling off of their owl bears and struggling to stay on. Let's see if we can get anything from either Gore, Addydark, or Korra, since they haven't gone yet.
I kind of feel like I feel like Gore's the best to help people at this point, but that's just my 2 cents.
No,
All right.
it's not. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying like taking a turn to do the skill check, not the help action.
I think Gore, if anything, will be trying to use his flight, and he's zipping quick enough to zip up a little bit and still fall back, and he's gonna try to yell at the greedy one and try to tell him a better path to go, because clearly he's like, while he's zipping backwards, he's kind of sliding off rocks, slowing his speed a little bit, picking back up. He's just dancing through it. So he's trying to more or less point a better path to go.
All right. 1 second, let me fix one thing. So which skill would you be trying to use then?
Acrobatics. That boy move.
All right, trying to use acrobatics to sort of zip through everything and kind of showing more of a path rather than explaining. All right.
Just watching that, because you almost see like he's lightened up a little bit. It's almost like there's like a zip lightning path going on.
Okay, dope. Is anybody able to assist Gore with this acrobatics check in any way, shape, or form?
So Azora will take this opportunity. One of the things she learned with Hannibal was how to like freeze droplets of water. She isn't quite there yet with that move, but she's at least learned that. So she's gonna as you're moving forward, she's gonna try to help make like the water, like the stuff, move down faster, so it clears out the way for you. And she's gonna like swipe her sword out in order to freeze the droplets of rain.
All right. That said, that'll be enough. Gore, make an acrobatics check with advantage. I did disadvantage.
Man.
So, hold on. 14. That'll be enough. Thank God you accidentally hit disadvantage. That said,
Zip zap.
Gore, as you begin to zip and zip zap pretty much through the likes of the debris, through the trees and more, Azora being able to provide you cover, being able to freeze over bits of the rain and and small portions of the wind and more. You guys are able to continue on through the likes of this sort of almost storm. As you do so, that is a 3rd success. At this point, you feel as if you're almost directly into the eye of the storm itself. Noticing as there's a massive sort of structure coming at you guys again. You notice as it's not just buildings, it's not just even wildlife, but the arcane as well is involved in this storm. Looking over, you see as bits of electricity begin to fire off, even flames themselves begin to strike off towards you guys that are not even conjured by Agni. Bits of sort of earthen materials begin to soar off to the side, and all of the arcane begins to strike over towards you all. With that, how would anybody try to resist the likes of the elements and more for either their teammates or themselves? Choice is yours. We have to go through either Gore. So it's either Korra or Addidark, I believe.
Well, do we need 4 successes out of 7, or we need 7 successes?
7 successes. It's a lot.
Out of how many tries?
Until you either fail.
Alright.
Do or die, basically.
How many failures we get?
4 failures.
4. Okay. Whew.
I guess
Remember, you
I'll
guys
try.
can use NPCs as well if you need. If you can figure out a way how to utilize them, though.
No, we don't know anything about them.
Nope, didn't
Well,
ask.
we know Tsamada's a druid,
Yeah,
and
we
we
know he's a
know
druid.
that he's from here. What you say? Well, we know he's a druid because we saw him transform into an owl.
Yeah.
Evil.
But let Korra's about to say something. Let her do her thing.
No. I mean, go ahead.
No, I'm just giving out information. We know Tsamada is a druid. They're owl. They're from wherever we're going. So I don't know how you want to
Hey,
use
man,
that, but maybe use that.
Hey man, what about Gashir, bro? He's a mushroom. He got
Bro.
poison spray.
Bro,
He's used.
this is not not a time for True Strike. We're not
Hey
doing True
man,
Strike. right now.
he's used. I mean, hey, you never know, bro. He used Armor of Agathis. He's a spellcaster. That's all he's got. He's got the Noxious Blade. Nah, I'm kidding. Let me stop. All right, so the elements are coming directly towards each and every one of you, Korra or Addidark. Which one of you is going to try to stop it?
I guess. I guess Korra would try.
All right. So it's a little bit that you can use. You can use either an insight, investigation, or medicine check. Looking over, you see as the arcane storm is heading towards you, and it seems to be that it's definitely at a sort of rhythmic it's a rhythmic chaos. You notice that several seconds afterwards, a bit of flames begin to sort of spurt. Several seconds later, another immediately almost on a timer, more and more flames begin to sort of emerge outwards. Regardless, all the arcane and all the natural elements are forming. How would you want to survive this, or help your ally survive this?
Can I use insight on my owl to see
Okay.
if the owl can handle all the shit that's coming towards us?
I'll give you that. So insight to see if it can handle all of that sort of going on. Okay, I think I got an idea. Make it, or, well, don't make an insight check just yet. Is anybody trying to assist Korra to try to get this owl under control and understand exactly what it's doing? Or what it's trying to do?
Azora will
Or
yell
Zora,
out.
you actually did just help last time, so it'd have to be somebody
Oh, yeah,
else who
that's-
hasn't just helped
that's
last
true.
turn.
Can I help?
You can.
Copy. Zaman would say, Korra, have no fear. The owl is your companion. You must trust it.
As this
Oh,
sort
okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I give guidance to myself, or does it not work for this?
It would not work for this. Yeah, it wouldn't work for this one. Sadly, it's just a skill challenge.
Okay, okay, cool. So I will roll my insight.
All right, do so with advantage, as Amon is providing at least a little bit of assistance. Oof, one more time.
I'm going down, down, down.
15. Ugh. Anybody got any inspiration they want to use on this to help it out?
So you see her twirling down, like as if she was in a hurricane.
Oh man.
Oh, sorry there. I'm going to use my inspiration.
All right. So
I
Corey,
just got shoutouts.
that being said, as this begins to happen, Addy Dark, you begin to yell out towards Azora, beginning to sort of give her also a little bit of guidance to at least help her.
Core.
Sort of. Or did I say Azora? My bad. I always mix your two names together, but
We
as
did
you
not
yell,
make it easy for you.
yeah, it
We
really
didn't
did
make
not.
it easy.
But as you begin to yell out towards Cora, make an insight check once more with advantage.
I mean, I'm not gonna fail 3 times, right?
Me shit. I hope not.
Bro, why you jinxing yourself, bro? Oh.
Hold on.
Did you? I thought it was advantage. No.
No,
Yeah,
it
it's with
is.
advantage.
What would Kobe do? Okay. Oh shit. He's
Not
rolling in
that.
his grave.
You still know how to
yourself.
roll with advantage, bro.
Oh,
I rolled twice.
Oh, you just rolled the. Oh, you rolled
Yeah, you
twice.
did. 12 and 16, that will not be able to do it. As you begin to do so, Cora is still, they seem to still have this owl in this death grip. You're more so focused on your own life rather than the owls at this moment. That is 1 failure, so it's 2 for 2 for the Voden Knights. 2 more failures and you will fail this skill challenge. Let's see. All right, here we go. Next up, as Cora is sort of struggling with this, it's up to you, Addy Dark. Where you see as all of the elements are sort of flying directly towards you, from the arcane, from fire, water, earth, and even that of a massive windstorm. How are you trying to get through this one right here and now?
I guess if I rage, can I try to like channel some of this in like just become a conduit to decrease some of the chaos?
I could raise I could say that'd be athletics check. Yeah, I can say that. All right.
Like I'll jump right into it. I don't mind jumping into chaos.
All right. So as this begins to happen, you begin to see as all the chaos is forming in front of you, and you begin to stand your ground, almost sort of flying up with the likes of your owl in front of the rest of the individuals, and begin to try to absorb any elements coming their way. As you do so, Addy Dark, or actually before that happens, is anybody assisting Addy Dark to lower the DC as well?
I can assist.
Oh,
Or
okay.
someone has them.
Yeah.
The more
Just because
people who
it's
assist, the more people who assist, the lower the DC gets every single time. So,
oh.
Wait, multiple people can assist?
oh yeah.
Oh, well then, if Gore sees him trying to channel the elements, like, can you just tell me what I would see element wise?
So I guess I would describe it as me taking my bat out and swinging in front of me, just knocking them out of the way to clear a path, literally. As I'm
That's when you
enraged
attuned with the elements?
as I'm enraged in fire mode, just like fire burst, slashing.
All right.
Well,
Well, Gore wouldn't let you swing alone, and like I said, like while you're swinging, he's like almost swinging and swinging, going straight rival schools. If you had old boy with the bat as one of your characters, so he's trying to team up move with you, and he's almost swinging, and it's different because almost like with Azura, the rain is kind of freezing just a little bit while he's swinging because it's getting a little icy.
All right. I'll lower the DC. Go
While
ahead,
they're
Abby.
while they're doing that, because he said he's going up to absorb the elements, Agni is also flying forth, and while they're swinging, he will swing as well, but he is actually casting the spell Absorb Elements to help contain some of these elements that are coming at them.
All right. And with that, Addy Dark, roll an athletics check with advantage. The DC is tremendously lowered.
let's do this.
17, that'll beat and crush the DC entirely. As you begin to do so, between the likes of you, Gore, Addy Dark, and Agni, you swing forth and also begin to cast Absorb Elements. You're able to completely eviscerate any sort of chaos heading towards you guys in your way. That is 3 successes, 2 failures, halfway there. With that, we look over, and as everybody has sort of been able to at least attempt theirs, it resets again, and anybody can go next if they wish. Looking over off to the side. Oh, go ahead.
I thought we had more successes. I thought Agni, Gore, Azora, and then now Addy all succeeded.
Yeah, it should have been
Four,
4.
right?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
4. I don't know what. Did I
Yeah,
say 3?
definitely 4.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. I said 3. That's my fault. Yeah, you guys are at 4, not 3. All right.
So Azora will so it's like there's like these like purple portal things opening up, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so so for a moment, she'll like grabbing onto her, owl thing. She'll look down at her palm and just focus on it for a bit to open up her astral sense, her astral eye, and she's going to look at each of the cracks and sparks, and pretty much use investigation to track like, oh, boom over there, and try to lead the team through this. She'll just yell on me as her you see her arm starts to get a little corrupted.
Run that back. You said astral eye, you say?
Yeah.
It's finally. You'll look over Azora, and as you begin to do so, you're stopped about right over here, and someone notices this. They look over and says, and you'll hear, wait. Wait, what? How do you have that die? Wait, what? You'll see as Gashir seems to look over and recognize it to some extent. Wait, what? You'll look over and see as he says, Zora, I know it's not the greatest of times, but question, just really quick question, just really quick question. Big dragon make any sort of, ring any bells a little bit? Just a little teensy weensy bit.
She turns her head to look at Gashir, and you can see where normally, anytime she activates her oculi abilities, just one eye glasses over an ice. But as she looks back at him, Gashir will only just see like astral, irises, pupils, everything. And she looks at Gashir and she says, "Of course we know about the dragons."
You have the actual thing activated with the mark, correct?
Yeah.
You look over and you see behind Gashir something. You see a bit of astral nature kind of behind him entirely. It seems to be completely sort of, it's a very, how you say, dismembered silhouette of a dragon. An astral dragon at that, but having remnants of some sort of flesh, but not much. Completely severed, completely almost obliterated, and you see that sort of visage a little bit behind Gashir. It's very small, but it is noticeable, at least with your eye.
And she's in a note.
Just by chance, care if I give a little bit of assistance for this one?
Azora looks up like she like sees another crack happen, and she looks back at Gashir. Make it quick.
All right, you'll see as he begins to do so, and remind me what exactly you're trying to do, and you're trying to like sort of scout out exactly where everything is, sort of marking everything down, correct?
Yeah. She's marking the cracks so she could lead the team to like slightly safer places as they go through it.
As he begins to do so for a brief moment, I mean, hey, Gashir is a dumbass, but he's always had this. He just doesn't know what the fuck it is. He will activate his warlock ability and will begin to see into, or you'll see as he actually begins to do something slightly similar towards you, Azora. You'll see as the marking up, or that little scar over his eye, it will begin to start shifting colors for a brief moment. And you'll see as it begins to almost start coalescing with a bit of astral nature, he will give you advantage on your investigation check.
No, we gotta have a long talk after this.
I've been hinting towards it for the longest.
That was funny.
Can anyone else help with this?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I was just asking.
Zaman is going to command the owls to maneuver with Azora and increase the speed or decrease the speed as she needs it.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. For this moment, being able to like sort of slow it and being able to or hasten it as well. All right, Azora, make your investigation check. Oh wait, is anybody else helping out with that as well? All right, we're good. Investigation with advantage then. You see, is lower 26. Is that not 20? Ah, so close to not 20.
You see, you just hear her shout out. She looks forward, looking at the astral cracks. I see it. Gone.
As you begin to do so, you and Gashir begin to look around and begin to try to scout out a couple of things. It's more of you sort of seeing it a little bit first, and then kind of Gashir kind of saying it out to the rest of the party. You doing mainly a lot of the legwork, but regardless, it does help out, as well as with Zaman's being able to accelerate your owl whenever you're more so not paying attention, to make sure you don't get blasted off to the side. With that is 5 successes. You only need 2 more. So 5 successes, 2 failures. Almost there. Almost there. As you look over and around, it seems to be bits of the sort of trees are beginning to actually fly out. Bits of wood is sort of hit or smacking each and every single one of you. Bits of splinters are actually striking into your arms, your chest, and blood is actually beginning to start spilling onto the ground. With that, who would like to assist in this 6 skill check?
I have something. So I guess as these things are coming towards us, Agni's going to see that we're a little uncoordinated, and he wants to get everyone sort of in like a single file line to kind of use the backdraft of himself in front so everyone can navigate through these things much quicker. And I was thinking this could potentially be a martial check to kind of get everyone focused and together for one single file formation through these things.
And when Gore first hears him saying this, he kind of zips by and just yells as he zips by, so everybody's gonna kind of hear like the like passing train. On the big one, and just pass one, just.
What did you say, bro? Did you sneeze? Did you sneeze? What was that, bro?
You said on the big one, but just like my thing is, it would his yelling was but he's literally zipping right behind that. That's what you come up with.
All right. So as that's happening, Agni, you can make your martial check. You have expertise with it. You make it with advantage. Oh man. So that is a +7. 16.
Yo,
Also,
so wait, Marshall, what do you roll for Marshall check?
so it's different for everybody. It's some people it's wisdom, other people it's intelligence. I think for everybody in this group it's wisdom, I'm pretty sure.
Besides Gore. Gore's intelligence.
Oh yeah, Gore's intelligence. Yeah. So, oh boy, advantage 16, lowering the DC to that.
It's
Just-
well, 16. It's plus
Oh,
7.
Okay,
It's plus, yeah.
cool. I was like, oh god, that's not gonna do it. But 16
Yeah.
plus 7, that'll be more than enough. As you're able to sort of use yourself and try to eliminate all the backdraft, you and Gore are able to continue forth. At this point, you see as there is now a clearing in the likes of this storm and a clearing in the likes of all the debris and more. You see as there's one final building as you're able to sort of get around it before bits of rocks and debris are still crashing towards you. One final chance, one final shot. Who's going to try to help out and assist everyone in this final moment in time?
What other proficiencies we got left for anyone?
I think it's intimidation. I think I got intimidation.
With Addy Dark.
We got anything else?
The last thing I probably have is what I don't know. Is your intimidation better than mine?
I just got medicine.
Gore
That ain't
would do what he does best and yell if that would it do, because
Oh no.
Oh man, here we go again.
Are you
gonna yell at the storm?
I can take this.
yes.
Well, hold on, Adidar, you don't know anything about this. In the first campaign, he in fact yelled at the mist in a skill challenge. Can he yell at a storm? I mean,
Hey, Gore. So Gore would yell, "God damn, it's the best I got." This is intimidation.
Here we go. We're bringing it back.
Wait, can we like help with this, or is he just straight rolling?
I mean, you can help.
Gore,
But
you're
first
gonna
off,
yell?
I'm waiting for Gore to like. I'm waiting for
Yeah,
Gore
bro.
to like see what or describe what he's gonna do, and then you guys can assist afterwards.
All right.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you want to yell it out first. Like,
You describe whatever the heck Gore is doing.
so
Go for it.
Gore zips, and he is angry at the skies again. And he's just gonna yell up at the, like, almost yelling at whatever aberrations is breaking through the skies, and be like, I've tried it before, but this storm won't crush the Voden Knights. And he just yell it out at the sky. So he's doing his thing.
All right, that's it. As he begins to yell that out, how is anybody else assisting Gore to give him advantage?
I guess going through the same route that he does. Agni's not gonna yell at the storm, but you can see he doesn't want to fail again, so he's going to yell at everyone using the same type of intimidation. And you hear him like call back as he's still in the front. If you guys don't make it up here, I'll kill you myself. Let's go.
Oh my god! Yo!
Serious intimidation.
That's I'll do it. Anybody else assisting as well?
Yeah, with that,
I would.
go ahead.
Oh.
You
Oh, no,
both
go
can.
ahead.
So you both can. So who's going first?
Go, Addy.
I will.
I'll go
I
last.
respect Zaman as a player and a character, so I'll want him to go first.
Fair enough.
Gratitude.
You'll see.
Gratitude.
Zaman. He's going to get all of the owls in formation and just say, he'll yell out, "I am not dying today. Definitely by no fucking fire." And then he's going to put all the owls in formation to follow up behind Agni.
As you begin to do so, you see as they begin to all combine into one single line, following right behind Agni, as Gore is yelling out and Agni is intimidating all of the Voden Knights to get into line or die. Addydark is, or how are you assisting?
Sorry, I'm looking for a word. That's not the word I'm looking for. Sorry, I was like, there's a word that's
man.
that was not the word I'm looking for. Addy Dark will almost stand up on his rock owl and begin to just mush it like he's horse racing at the Kentucky Derby with his bat, and saying, "Move it or die!" And just keep. It'll be slapping his owl. What is it? Owl bear? What is it?
It's just an owl. Yeah.
Owl, yeah,
Giant
owl rock thing, and you can see it's like slowly bits of lava dripping off of his rear, because obviously the fire bat is making it melt a little bit.
You got it. All right, Gore, intimidation check. Here we go. You do it with advantage, and the DC is lowered significantly. Let's see what you got.
I doubt it.
As you scream at the storm, that is with disadvantage. You said you
Or
did.
disadvantage.
Unfortunately, it was disadvantage.
All right,
I was
so,
about
Still
to
not
say,
that
bro.
great.
Oh my
It's
god.
still not that great.
It's still
so
not good
it
at
is
all.
a 10 plus 3. Ugh.
It's 2, bro. It's +2. It ain't gonna do it.
It ain't, nah, it's not gonna be enough. You all begin to yell out as you begin to yell. I got a funny narrative.
Slide.
Oh my
As this
gosh, bro.
happens,
That's how it is.
Gore, you yell out towards the storm, and as you're screaming towards Karanos themselves, you're yelling, and then just bing, you just get smacked with a stone and immediately just go silent as you go flying backwards.
I figured it was gonna be like that.
As you do. Or Addy Dark is able to sort of catch you and make sure you don't like go flying, but it's not looking good. So that is a third failure. Oh no, we've been here before, guys.
What?
We've been here before. Third failure, last success. All or nothing. The Voden Knights have been in this situation plenty of times, but will they be able to come out on top? All right, who's it gonna be? How are you gonna try to get out of this one? With which skill? Also, chat, remember you guys can give inspiration points out to any of the players. Just gotta do exclamation point inspo.
I don't know what skills we have left. I know I have one. Does anyone else have a skill left that we can use?
think Aurora has one.
You know, out of curiosity, I've got +3 to intimidation. Would that extra one have helped us last time? Out of curiosity, just for my
Nah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that if I had to eviscerate Gore off, afterwards or not. Thank you.
You probably would have rolled better though, but neither here nor there. So we
Yeah.
have medicine and then Agni. What you got?
I still have like all my talking ones, so
You can use
I have
any
persuasion
one of them.
still?
You just gotta be as creative enough to be able to figure out a way how to use it. Whether it's using it to bolster your allies, whether it's to somehow figure out a way to help yourself or get through the likes of this storm. But you can use any skill as long as you're creative enough.
I have one. I just don't want to take it away from going a third time from Cora.
Hey, bro, shit, you leader, nigga, lead.
Those simple words ain't never been said,
for
bro.
you, bro. He's taxing, bro. You better shoot the J.
Do what we pay you to do, Agni.
Bro, you got the
All right,
Supermax
all right,
skill, bro. You got the 5-year Supermax. You talking about I don't want to take the shot?
All right. So, so seeing that originally the devilish, wrathful side of him wasn't enough. During this rainstorm that he sees, he notices something flying through the sky, and it catches his eye for a brief moment. And what is actually flying is a tree. And what he sees on the tree, it sort of calms him down a little bit. And as he's flying, some vines start to build on the back of his shell. And he sort of calms down as he looks up to the sky, realizing sometimes the angry nature and wrathful side of him isn't going to get the job done. And as he kind of calms down in the storm and we're approaching the summit, you see Agni kind of call out to his team, and everyone sort of hears in their head as he's sending a message. It is do or die time, my knights. We will make it to the summit together in one piece. Get your owls in formation, because no storm is going to stop the wrath of the knights approaching their goals. As he is going to try to persuade everyone to calm down and focus up.
All right, as you do so, you do receive inspiration from Max in chat. Is anybody else assisting Agni in this moment in time?
The assist board shuts up.
Fuck it, I'll give it to you. That's funny.
That's fair. That's a good assist.
Fuck it, sure, why not?
Zora, Cora.
Yeah, Zora, she sees the leader make that speech, and she nods to her, and she goes like flies around to the back to corral everybody to hustle up, and she'll say to them, we promised you we'll get you there. Follow us. We'll lead you. Do not worry about who we go against once we arrive. So long as you stick with us, we'll make sure you'll stay protected. And she just wants to like corral them to like kind of like, speed it up, like get it together. Let's go.
All right, is that everybody then? Oh, go ahead.
And then Addy
Hold on, I
Dark
think-
returned to Gore.
I think Cora was saying something. I got
I
you.
know, I heard Addy.
Oh, you sure?
Come on, Cora. Come on. We need a victory, bro. This is your time.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna do my man Addy like that. So go ahead, spit your bars, bro.
I just turn to Gore and say, it's hunting time. Let's clear the path. And he'll jet ahead to continue to try to knock away some of the elements for the team to clear a path.
Got it. All right, Cora, you got anything? It's do or die. The god of victory is on your side, and you need a victory after failing. I mean, shit, man.
So yeah, Cora would say, to everyone that that follow the league, because Auroraverse will lead us all to victory.
And with that, it's all or nothing, Agni. We got advantage on your persuasion check to be able to calm the troops down and get them focused up. Let's see this with everything that you've got.
All right. No, building dramatic tension.
That's a big 20 right there. 20 plus. Yep, that'll do it. That will do it. Agni, as you begin to yell out towards all the troops, you see as they all begin to file in line, helping and assisting each and every single one of the knights in order, assuring them that today will not be a day of failure, but victory. Guided by you, guided by the hells, and guided by the gods, and guided by even all the natural elements around you. As you soar forth, immediately you begin to soar up to the likes of this, or through the clouds, through the storm, and more before silence. You look around, and it seems to be as you're able to get through the storm, get through the debris, and get through the chaos. As you guys are all finally successful in your damn skill challenge. With that, congratulations, Knights, you have won. Alrighty. As you all begin to look up and above, it's a complete night and day difference from the eye of the storm to the outskirts, or to the emergence into the clouds. You look over for a moment, and you see as all of your allies, though a little bit bloodied, a little bit battered and bruised, are all alive, they're all well. You look over, and this is, again, a rough idea of kind of what you see. Just a very rough idea. You look over, and as this happens, you can really truly see the vastness of Voden and all it has to offer or offers past the clouds. You look above and you see as there are floating islands scattered about throughout the lands and more. You look over and you see as even towards the sort of north in the center of it all, you see as there's the massive world tree. Some of you familiar with it, but others not so much. Regardless, the only thing coming close to the size of the tree, or anything this high up past the clouds, being the mountain over towards the taiga, the Azure taiga. You're looking over, you're seeing a massive eye in the center, or not necessarily the center, but seeming to be rifting and tearing through the sky itself, looking down upon something or someone. Regardless, you'll see as the others, such as Kaio, Gashir, and the satyr woman, as well as the other blue-haired individual, begin to fly up shortly afterwards joining you. As this all happens, there's a calm. You look around and about. Is there anything you immediately say or do as you arrive to safety? Now, granted, you're still floating and flying on the owls, but the island that you were going to has been completely destroyed and or it's exploded. But you're just waiting at this moment.
Gore would spit out a rock and look at the other three guys that were flying up with us and be like, "Where were you the entire time?"
You didn't ask them to help. You could have used them to help. They were just flying behind you.
Well, good to know that they're followers.
Definitely followers.
Zora would fly closer to Gashir and say, "Once we have a bit of a moment, we should talk."
Probably for the best. Yes. Oh god. He sees he's sort of shaking at the moment. He is terrified of all of this.
The man would say, once we land, we should check that marking. Zora, we should discuss what you said earlier.
You're saying that to Zora? Hold on.
Zora, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Repeat that.
I said when we land, we should check my mark, and then discuss what you had said earlier. You talk about the communication you sent out about what happened to Spike and all that fun stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she'll nod, and she says, "It doesn't hurt to be a bit informed."
As this is sort of happening, we'll see as Kaio will begin to fly over, kind of landing on one of the owls, and then transforming back and saying, well, sorry, well, couldn't really be much of an assistance as a bird, not going to lie, but you all seem to have handled it, so I thank you. Thank.
Oh, Buzz did something. I'm just.
Is it?
Nothing. You did nothing.
Yeah.
Isn't this? Aren't we going to your home? You could have probably guided us. You should have probably been in the front.
Again, can't speak when bird.
Enough. We got up here on our own strength. That's all that matters.
Addy Dark would turn to Cora and be like, I feel as though this place is poorly named. Should it be the Exploding Islands?
On that note, it does raise a question. You'll see as he begins to look over. We'll have to wait several minutes before the island reforms, but the island shouldn't be exploding in the first place. Though, yes, the islands around in Voden, they can explode, but they also, well, at least from what I remember, there was a device that we used to use to prevent that. They should have dealt with it or something, and something must have happened. Something must have gone wrong. This should not have occurred in the first place. Well, in the meantime,
What would a device like this be?
you, from what I saw in my form, even though I couldn't really see much, you seem to be of the arcane, right?
That is correct.
Probably. Kokasha, you could probably explain this one more. I remember telling you, but you probably have more, how you say, knowledge of it. You'll see as the individual begin to speak and say, well, yeah, I think you mentioned it was something to do with graviturgy magic. It's magic specifically referring to, well, what's it called again? Dunamancy. Have you heard of it or dealt with it at all?
Dunamancy. Does that ring a bell?
TF? Not to me. My magic and what I've seen, nothing like that rings a bell for me, at least.
It is, to put it simply, Dunamancy is the magic of, well, probably one of the more higher advanced magics, dealing with time and space, manipulating it to your will. Divination is a close representation of it, but not exactly. Divination is the predicting of time, the predicting of events. Dunamancy, specifically chronergy, would be the complete manipulation and changing of the events, and changing the action to determine the results. That makes sense. Graviturgy specifically would be altering a device and, how you say, its space in a certain timeline. It's very complicated, but point is, you move stuff more. or exactly where you want it through the arcane.
Question, Sensei.
Mm-hmm.
Me, given my history, would I know about this?
Yeah, make a history check.
Copy.
Yeah, it could be a history or arcana, your choice.
I'm gonna do Arcana.
17. Yeah, you've heard a little bit of it. You never necessarily studied it, as it wasn't too relevant to you. Now,
Even as a, cleric that I was.
yeah, it's not necessarily a sort of clerical thing. In regards to that, it's more of as the reason why is with that whole thing, that was more of divine nature, and this falls into purely arcane and using the likes of the weave. It falls back under the principles of the 3 types of magic. It was just a different sort of section of it where you went about it a different way and a different means. It is definitely interesting to see and understand that there are multiple ways to manipulate time, manipulate space as well, though.
B.
You did it through kind of more so faith and belief, or even that of a lack of faith. This is just straight up arcane numbers and theories. Possibly something that you could maybe even look into if you were to want to regain old powers from before.
Of course. Good to know.
Regardless, Voden Knights, you have a couple of minutes before this thing reforms again, as mentioned to Kaio. Is there any questions you needed to ask one another? Any things that you or any business you need to take care of before this, before that event occurs?
I think we're just
I think
trying to land, right?
I think I'm good. Agni's probably taking a little bit of time for himself to just enjoy, I guess, the
voicemail, by
sight.
the way.
Damn, I didn't know it was on. Agni's probably just taking a little bit of time to just enjoy the sights of just being so high up in the air, but I got nothing else to really say.
Oh, make a perception check, real quick. Go ahead, Gore.
Gore's just giving those 3 guys a dirty look.
All right, 9 perception check. Looking around, nothing super that is really drawing your attention more. You're sort of just, instead of like looking kind of for a tactical sort of advantage or any sort of sense, everything's really too far out, and it's more so you accidentally or intentionally looking at things from more of a beautiful sort of standard.
That's honestly what I was going for anyways.
As you begin to do so, you just begin to sightsee, continue on. So, regardless, is that all for everybody?
Oh, Cora's just writing in her journal, but yeah, that's all. I'm good.
Got it. Now, as you do so,
How terrible would it be to just actually never mind.
all right. So, as this begins to happen, you all look over and eventually you see as a huge rift begins to form in front of your eyes, massive in nature, almost only several hundred feet away, but the sheer size of it almost makes you immediately have to send the owls back a little bit. As they begin to, or as you all begin to adjust and shift, you look over and around and you notice as the debris below slowly rises and begins to collect itself. You notice as massive chunks of dirt, stone, minerals begin to rise, conjoining with one another. With each rising of a landmass, you notice as there is cracks in the area, almost like glass. The cracks are in the general vicinity, just in random portions of the sky. Everybody, make an intelligence check for me.
Hey, Key, can you actually roll my intelligence? I'm
I got you.
AFK at the moment.
Check. Gets a
A
natural
lot of
20.
nat 20s.
Addy Dark's AFK, but he's got a nat 20 anyways.
Hey, I hit that astral plane for the extra intelligence, bro.
So Cora, everybody's able to like sort of put this together, but Cora, you're kind of like focused on writing in your book, so it doesn't even really register at this point. But Azora, you immediately notice this, and for a second you kind of go on the defensive as, oh shoot, why are the rifts forming in the middle of the sky again? Oh no. Addy Dark, you look over towards this, and you are pretty familiar as you don't necessarily sleep in the likes of the houses. You decide to sleep on the outside of it, and high up into the trees at that. Looking over towards these rifts and these cracks, almost like glass, it seems to be a similar breaking sensation or motion as how the sky breaks and shatters every day when it turns from day to night, etc. That said, all of you guys are able to at least put those pieces together. But regardless, you look and see as the ruins collect and the buildings begin to almost rebuild themselves in real time. It's a wild phenomenon, as it seems to be as if the explosion never happened, as the buildings almost completely turn back to normal. It's almost mesmerizing as you witness it. You see as one by one, bridges, buildings, towers, and more all rebuilt in front of you within a matter of seconds. Before, after only 2 minutes, 2 minutes and counting, the island, the village, the Oculi village is restored. This is gonna throw you guys for a loop. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. You look over and you see, for the first time, besides the likes of noticing this sort of mushroom village and more, you see actual buildings and structures about an actual place that seemed to have been lived in. However, you would notice as it's not perfect, it's far from it. Bits and cracks and tears into the sort of stones and more, arcane blasts and marks, signs of war, signs of destruction in some of the buildings as they're completely destroyed and mangled. Some of them hanging or completely eviscerated and hanging off to the sides, but regardless, it's functional. But you don't see people necessarily. Now, also as a side note, this map isn't 100% accurate, but it's pretty close. Instead of what you see here, it's more of several floating land masses that are loosely connected a little bit closer via bridges, as well as they're more so, they're all separate, but they're very, very close to give the illusion of one massive area rather than several buildings separated from one another. But as you look over towards this, you'll see as Kaya will begin to mention as... this is a little bit different than what I remembered. It's more vibrant. Not as much destruction. But I guess this is home. As you all look off and say, or look off towards this thing, one by one, you see as several portals, several rifts begin to form. You notice as they seem to be fiery rifts ripping and tearing through reality itself. You look over and you see as it's several of them onto the grounds, into the areas as well, next to the buildings and more. And these rifts though, they're made of hellfire themselves, and pouring out, stepping out of the hellfire, you see as dozens of portals seeming to be filled with civilians, villagers, all in unison. as they begin to pour out from them, you see as they return back to their daily lives as if nothing's happened. There wasn't an explosion or anything that occurred. Everything is back to normal and more. That is before everybody make a perception check for me. 21, 13.
I'm back.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, okay.
Gore's perception is always on trash, boy.
Just in the clouds, in the la la lands.
I was doing much better when I had ADD.
So Gore, it's more of you kind of looking at the buildings and seeing exactly like just the sheer size of this and just getting completely lost in it for a moment in time. Agni, you sort of focusing on a little bit more of the portals spewing out hell flames and more so being focused on that. Saman, Korra, and Azora, you look over, and Korra, you're kind of looking to see everything that's going on. In a wave, crashing wave of memories begin to start flashing through and flooding through you. For a moment, Korra, you see yourself walking for a brief moment in time. You notice as you're not necessarily clad in armor and steel, but more of robes. Not necessarily monk robes, but very similar in nature and form. You see as you walk the likes of several streets, seeing other individuals as they don't necessarily even need to speak towards one another. They simply speak within their minds and continue on their day-to-day lives. You look over back towards this village, and though it is not the same, for some reason it feels familiar to some extent. You still don't understand why though. That said, Azora and Zaman, you individuals, you look over and you see immediately enough of the sort of thematics and more. Several individuals begin to point out towards you all just flying in the clouds. And as you're floating off into the sky, you see as an eruption of arcane energy begins to form. You look over as 1, 2, 3, 8, and then 12 individuals immediately start forming arcane spells and preparing it to fire it off at you as they all immediately go into the defensive. Let's do this. Azora, roll a d6 for me. 3? Funny enough, that's you. Azora, immediately in your head, you hear a voice begin to emerge from out of nowhere. As it says, "You, land now in the forest below. Repeat this message to you and your men. Failure within 30 seconds leaves us no choice but to consider an act of hostility. Land now."
Shit, let's get hostile. No, let me stop. She'll say, tell everybody, everyone, stop your motion. They are communicating with me. They said to land in the forest below, or they will consider us hostile if we do not. And she looks back at Kyle. Sort of kind of like hoping that he'd be like, yeah, that's kind of how it is around here.
Yeah, he looks over and he kind of says, "It's best we do what they say. They will consider me, but it's been a lot of time, so hopefully I'll still be able to have a bit of rapport with them. Do as they say now, or we will be blasted out the sky." That being said, I assume everybody does so.
How high up are we? Like how far from the ground?
Far from the ground, like 150 to 300 feet. You are very high up right now.
Okay.
You see Azora will start
actually probably a little
descending.
bit lower. It's like about 200 and below, like 200 feet and below. Go ahead, Azora.
And so you'll see she starts to descend.
All right. As you all begin to descend, you see as you land, and you land in a strange forested area. You see, as the strangely colored nature of it's colored with the likes of purples, blues, greens, and bioluminescent lights. You see, as you do so, immediately individuals are aiming longbows at each and every one of you as you all descend. As you do, you look over and let me change maps as this is what you see. Looking around, you notice as there are bits of stars and more about the area. Even the water is a little bit of a shining sort of blue, a little bit more unnatural color towards it. Regardless, this is what you see as you eventually land. Looking over and around, you see as everyone's aiming a bow at you, but two individuals off to the side, they begin to drop down off of griffins, winged beasts, and more as they begin to look over towards you. As they do, you see one individual with long black hair and glowing green eyes. You also see another individual with a mask of the sorts in the shape of an owl. As you see these two individuals, one of them may seem familiar from a little while ago, from another adventure. As you begin to look over and see as this is sort of happening, you'll notice as they begin to step off of their sort of griffins, weapons drawn, but looking over towards you both, or excuse me, as you are looking over towards you all, as they keep their distance and yell out as this individual speaks. Toss your weapons onto the ground now, and hands where we can see them.
Damn, come on, don't put us in that position.
Here we go again.
Come on.
The slaughter a village, bro. Hostile takeover. Let's go.
That's a tough ask.
Yeah, that is.
Now, correct.
If nobody say something soon, gorgeous. Ready?
No. Cora is thinking the only way she's dropping her weapon is if these niggas came here and took it from her.
Yeah,
He's going. I mean, Agni's going to. I want to look. What is Kaio doing? I don't even know if he has weapons, but
He doesn't really have weapons, but Kaio,
yeah. But does he look like he's getting ready to surrender, or is he looking aggressive?
Looking over towards these individuals, he looks around. It's kind of a sense of like, oh, it's kind of a bit of like, okay, this is understandable, you know. Looking over towards all of you, you're not from here. You clearly look like outsiders because this is a village for like oculi of the Tsamada clan. Okay, I get what's going on here. All right, surrendering a little bit, still being like a little on edge, but definitely not any sort of thing of hostility. They realize they're outnumbered. If a fight broke out, I mean, they don't necessarily know what you guys are capable of unless you guys are like secretly demigods or something, but he knows you guys are this would be a terrible idea to fight. So he's gonna start surrendering a little bit. But that's because he knows stuff. You can do whatever the hell you want, though.
The only way is Zora putting her sword down, and she's going to hell 2 seconds right after.
I guess as they say that, Agni's going to step forward, and he's going to take the scythe off of his back and sort of give it a twirl and kind of hold it in front of him. And it was which gentleman? It was
this guy right here.
Him?
Yep.
Okay. He's going to talk to him, and he's going to say, hold on. What time is it? It's nighttime?
It is actually daytime. The reason why is because we skipped the week or whatever before. So it just keeps going. So it's just going to be daytime.
Okay. So Agni's going to say to him, greetings. You can refer to me as War Chief Agni. With me I have my compatriots. We have been fighting together for a long time. Some against the dynasty, some against the ops. Forgive me if me and my compatriots will not drop our weapons. But I can show you our current weapons, so you know exactly what we're capable of. I think it is a fair assessment to not have a warrior just easily give up things they hold prideful to them.
Agni, persuasion check. Is
I
anybody?
was gonna say,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Zoro say, this blade I hold, it is part of a code. The code of the Bushido blade. This is not something I can simply put down. No different than you removing your own arm. This is an extension of me. I'll keep it at my side, tied by my cloak. But I cannot simply throw away a part of me.
You see, as you say that, Gashir is like in the process of like putting his blade down, and then it's like, oh shit.
It's fall.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, Agni. Oh man, 13. Yeah, Gashir already has his weapon down, dude.
I
might
will
have to use that.
I will burn a sorcery point for a magical guidance for that.
Okay, go for it.
Let me just remove that sorcery point. Where is it? There it is. Take that down. Quick question. Well, God, it's not letting me replay it. Do I re-roll that with advantage or just?
What's it say, or what's the ability say and do? Magical guidance, right?
It's not actually on Foundry, but I can read it out from
It's probably from Tasha's
like
then.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah, if you could.
This feature is magical. When you make an ability check that fails, you can spend one sorcery point to re-roll the d20, and you must use that new roll, potentially turn failure into success.
So yeah, it's just gonna be a straight roll then. So
Okay.
roll one more persuasion.
Okay.
Oh boy.
What we likes to see.
That's what we
You
like
love
to
to
see.
see it. You
That's
love
all
to
you
see it.
Eddie
Nah,
from the
'cause I
background
told
yells.
him.
No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't want to have to go to war.
There was
Eddie
like,
goes,
there's
I'm more
no way I
dangerous without my weapon now.
There's no way I was convincing everyone to drop.
Oh
D-
man.
DM was gonna have our back against the wall too.
Oh man. Alright. You'll see as the individual who seems to be a sort of leader-esque figure as they are abiding by his rule and command. He'll look at all of you and begin to say, well, look towards you, War Chief Agni, and say, War Chief Agni, as you say.
Ooh, some respect.
I understand your judgment. The lands are hostile. However, as a sign of good faith, I would request that you all show all your weapons so we know exactly what we are dealing with and who we are dealing with. Whether these are simple travelers wielding weapons, or self-defense, or true warriors capable of killing many individuals.
We will show our weapons. However, please be careful, as some of my compatriots are quite attached to their weapons. If you would ask us to remove them or take them from us, we will simply just leave instead. But I think it's a fair judgment to at least show you the weapons we wield. And with that, he kind of, as he does that, he's going to just twirl his scythe a little bit and sort of plant it into the ground, and kind of just leave it there with his arms crossed.
You see, Azor steps forward. She puts her cloak on the ground and then puts the katana on it and like wraps it up in the cloak, and then ties it to her back.
Kyle will say one thing towards everyone. We'll just say, do as you wish, but I do recommend do not hide any weapons. It won't. This or my clan upholds honor to a T. Don't try to show any tactics of deceit. So it gives a little bit of insight. Hey.
I was gonna say something, but I don't know him well enough. But no,
Azor.
It's more of
looks
he's
at
just saying it. He's not saying it to anybody specific. It's just saying it to everybody, kind of like towards his people. But if, especially kind of like towards you guys who don't know necessarily much from what he can gather. So it's kind of like that.
Azor said clearly they had the ability for telepathy, so it is probably best we do not try deceit. And she'll step back behind Agni after that.
I said. Or
also
good.
forgive some of them, as I don't think they can easily remove their weapons. As Agni looks over at Zaman but doesn't say anything else.
Yeah, Zaman was. He'll show, because his shit is connected to his arm. He'll show his axe, but then he'll retract it back into his arm and just like, hey, you know.
Fair enough. Cora, do you show off or show your weapons that you got? Or the weapon you got?
Cora's the only reason why they can see it is because it's always in her hand. So she's not gonna put it out. She's not gonna flash it like anything. It's basically you see what I got, and she'll just leave it at that.
Enough. See, as before going to the other stuff, blue-haired individual, they ain't got much. They'll just show a couple of daggers that they have and show the quarterstaff that they wield. That's all for them. Addy Dark, do you show off the weapons that you wield? You only got the baseball bat, I'm pretty sure, though.
Oh no, I show him my fists.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
He's good hands.
That's all it is.
It's right here.
Got it. Gore, same thing with you and your weapons.
Gore tosses his axe forward, like in front of him into the ground, enough that it looks lodged, and then just puts his hand out as it comes back.
Immediately as it does so, Gashir will, I guess because everybody's picking up their blades, he's just going to look over at everybody and then he's going to like sort of pick up his sword and put it at his side. We'll see as this individual will begin to sort of unsheath a rapier of the sorts and also a crossbow, but that's all they got. As this happens, one by one, you'll see as they still look over at you, but the individual will begin to go a little bit closer, but still keeping their distance for sure across the river, just in case. As their griffins begin to sort of move a little bit closer towards them, following them on their leads. It's more of like rope leads, not them motion, like signaling them to come over. You'll see as they begin to say, right, so, is this all of you? Are there any other individuals we should know about?
This is all of us.
Very well.
I mean, if the cat is here, he would just motion the cat to go up on his shell, and just sort of mention. And this is a cat. He says it a little bit sarcastically, like obviously this thing isn't a weapon.
Zaman, Cora, and yeah, Zaman and Cora, make a perception check.
Heard.
24, nice.
Perception.
21.
They looking.
Bro.
So,
Bro, they just told us to drop our
Sentinels,
shit?
bro.
So, besides Agni saying, hey, this is a cat, you will hear one thing of, ooh, a cat is cute. You will hear that off to the side, but besides that, a more important thing, you will notice as one individual, they'll begin to say, I don't know if we should really be doing this right here now. I don't know if we should be doing this here. They're kind of looking left and right, but that's all you two here specifically.
Who said that?
It's just one of the random soldiers.
Core would tell them to speak up.
Thug life. I love it.
I love it, bro. I love it, bro.
Do you
She would
like,
look directly at the
on
person.
fire.
You
Let's
look directly
go.
at the person.
Look directly at the person.
Maintain awkward eye contact.
Intimidation check. Intimidation check, Core.
I mean, she's not even trying to intimidate. She just want to be known that I'm talking to you, not just to whomever. But yeah, I'll make it still.
0.
I
So
They ain't scared at all.
they
He
hear
was
it.
just asking. He wasn't intimidated. He
wasn't intimidated.
Like,
I
it
was
wasn't-
just saying.
Nah, I know that. So
He's
it's not
actually
like-
really friendly with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
just saying.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, speak up or whatever. It's more of whoever said it, they kind of almost sort of, how you say, like, oh shit, and they kind of go scared for a moment. Whoever this soldier is, whoever they are, they kind of go scary, and that's it. They don't say anything. They don't even speak up. But you know the general direction. It was one of these three people: him, or him. One of those three.
Keep an eye on these three. That's what Zaman is doing.
Bugging. We back? Alright, we're back. Cool. Should be good. Dope. So you'll see as the individual begin to say, now, I do want to make this clear. We are not looking for violence and we have no interest in violence. But we are capable of doing so. If you could, we could resolve this and go on about, or you could go on about your business and we can do ours. Could you answer a couple of questions for us?
Sure. I believe answering questions for you. If it's not too much, you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Very well, War Chief Agni. But you answer our questions first. You are on our own territory and soil, after all.
Of course. A guest wouldn't have it any other way.
We'll see as he speaks and says, as he begins to look over, kind of really eyeing you down for a moment, you'll see as his eyes begin to change to more of a greenish sort of coloring, begin to shine for a brief moment. As he says, you have a Tsamadan with you, but that is irrelevant if this is the case. Are any of you afflicted?
Like, got the suds?
You're-
What?
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific than that.
Stars.
To my knowledge,
Are any of you afflicted with the stars?
you speak of what we call the ops, our opposition. No.
Have you recently fought the afflictors then?
Define recent.
Probably say within several weeks at least.
They did. They attacked us multiple times, and they failed each time.
So as he looks over, kind of really sort of looking towards exactly, kind of, to put it lightly, Agony, you could tell this. He's basically martial checking each and every single one of you.
Oh, I definitely have I'm martial checking him as well. But as Agni speaks, he
for it.
has an angry look on his face, as he is not with any nonsense right now. But yeah, I was going to say that eventually, but yeah, he's martial checking him as well.
Yeah. You can martial check two individuals if you want. This person right here, they haven't said anything. They are just constantly looking and just eyeing you guys down, but then you can also martial check the second one. And that goes for anybody who wants to do that, not just Agni.
I'll do it as well. But all right, so I really don't want to bring this up, but is the fact that Zaman is missing an arm, would that mean I'm afflicted?
That would probably be the case. Yes.
Copy, just you know.
But it's always been like that.
Exactly. It's always been like that. So,
Yeah, it's always been like that.
So I'll roll these 2 checks. That'll be for the main guy, and that'll be for the second guy.
All right.
The first one's for the guy that I've been speaking with, and the second one's for the one to the next to him.
So 9 plus 6, that's
And-
15. All right. And then 19, yeah, plus a lot. All right. So here's what you get for this guy. Come on, same thing. Let's see if you can get anything more than that. You're proficient? Nah. Same sort of thing as Agni got. Anybody else?
Gore would already been trying to decide how many of them he could take down, but that's just him.
All right. So, with this individual, the oculi, well, they're all oculi in this village, but this individual is someone of definitely martial nature. You don't really see any spell books on them. You don't even see a holy focus or anything like that. So you're, from what you can tell, it doesn't suggest they're capable of casting spells. But where they lack in spells in the arcane, they make up tremendously in martial prowess and martial skill. This individual, well, you've seen people capable of fighting fairly well. This individual is roughly on Hannibal's level, if not slightly stronger. But Hannibal has gotten stronger, so it's a toss-up right now. They are...
So Zura can take him, got it.
They would be the closest thing to a level 12 fighter.
Zura got that.
Oh, man.
Out of
That's it.
curiosity, what level is a Hydra? Are Hydras level 12?
Hydras are a different
Trying to
thing.
get
This is more so, that's like a monster, that's a different sort of thing, or a different sort of category. When we're talking like about humanoids or people, it's like a different scale. But keep that in mind whenever you do like martial checks for monsters in the future, though. Yeah, I mean, this guy ain't soloing no Hydra, I'll tell you that much. He ain't that strong, calm down. But he's gonna need a couple
weaker
people.
than us.
Well, as in like solo dolo. Like
Right, so he's weaker
Agni
than
can't.
us.
Yeah, weaker than weaker than you guys or whatever. Like as a whole, like 7, like all 6 of you guys. Yeah, for sure. You could probably
That
take
was
him.
fucking real.
All right. So that said, you'll see as for this individual, even with your 19 plus sort of expertise, they don't say anything. They don't do anything. They sit and they watch. You look over and it's kind of exactly like an owl as they just examine their entire environment. Looking over towards them, you see a holy symbol. Or you think could be a holy symbol. What is it? You're not entirely sure what the heck it is. It seems weird. It seems foreign, not necessarily of any god that you would recognize, but you at least are able to tell something divine. The individual, you're not really able to get any read on them, which is a little bit scary considering that either it could be just like, oh, they're just nothing special, or they could be surprisingly powerful despite their sort of their appearance. You're not able to really gather anything on that guy. All right.
Interesting.
Okay, looking over, you'll see as the individual ask one more question or 2 more questions. So, why exactly are you all here? Actually, retcon that. They wouldn't ask that one first. They'd ask this one. This one's a little bit tense, but hey. So, you all seem to be warriors of the sorts. How many people have you killed?
Cora in her head would start counting how many people are here and thinking about adding that number to the ones that we already got.
I like that.
I get it's the weird thing about this question is we very rarely have killed other humanoids, in general, but outside of here, who knows how many Acme killed.
Bruh,
You see,
armies,
as you
bro.
guys are even taking long to answer the question, you see as this individual is already writing shit down.
Gore's been like counting on his fingers because he's trying.
I mean,
Counting on fingers.
she was
Gotcha,
waiting
gotcha.
for Agni to go first.
It's safe to say majority of us has seen our fair share of battles, even war. But recently, life is not really abundant. It seems to be beast, mechanical beast as well, and the ops. We have had a run-in with the Zhao dynasty, if you're familiar with them. Had a bit of a fight, you can say. However, not many of them were harmed at the time, unfortunately. But before all of us got here, there's probably a good amount, considering our overall combat prowess.
As they look over, see as he kind of, well, no. He'll begin to look over and kind of nod. Kind of like a little bit of I expected as much, but definitely something to note as you weren't able to recall at a certain amount. So you guys are definitely, unless you guys are bullshitting, you've seen battle, you are very dangerous individuals or capable of doing dangerous things. We'll make a note of it. Oh, go ahead.
Gore's still counting on his fingers.
Yeah. They'll make a note out of it and then say, for any oculi here, what clan are you from? Kaya will step up and say, I'm of the Tsamadans. This is of my home. I was sent on a scouting mission with a party about 1 year ago. This is my return. Go ahead, Agni, if you're saying something.
He would kind of just look around at everyone, but this main look is to see what Azura is saying, but he's kind of hiding it by looking at everyone. So it's like he kind of flashes his vision around. He's curious if Azura wants to be acknowledged or not, but he's trying to throw them off by just looking around at everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Azora would say, I'm a member of the Elonista clan of Akilai.
All right, so the Sensei question.
Yes.
I mean, clearly Zaman is not like a part. Like he doesn't look the part right now. But I'm guessing since they can read minds, they probably tell what I'm thinking.
Oh, you have no idea if they're reading your mind right now, so.
Shit. I mean, Zaman will say his name. He'll say, I am Zaman Unme of the Unme clan.
I'll see as
He'll
they
leave it at that.
I'll see as they begin to nod. Respectable clans, but I have not heard of the Unme for quite some time. I do not know of their how you say, what's the word I'm looking for? Lack of a better term, you'll just roughly say. I am unsure of what they have been up to recently, and their status. But... Now, a final question. Why is it that all of you are here? And why now of all times?
The time really isn't the question. We could have come at any time, to be honest. But we are here because we are survivors. People working together for a single cause. As you might be aware, the lands underneath you have been afflicted with destruction. There has been a large amount of erosion in the lands. Civilization isn't once what it was. Being a survivor in this land is not easy. Hostile forces can attack at any time. We were simply scouting, exploring the lands, seeing maybe there's resources around, maybe even potential allies to strengthen our bonds, provide trade, form partnerships.
As you begin to do so, as you mentioned this, first things I almost forgot. Cora, as you're sort of listening out, just trying to really analyze what everything's going on, you would have heard as someone, something, probably kind of from this direction, a little bit behind. When they asked which Oculi clan everybody's from, you would have overheard someone saying, "Better not be the Yasuda. It is the of the Yasuda. I don't know whether I can hold or contain myself. I'm firing. Especially for what they did." Or you were able to at least hear that. Alright. As that is said, but to Agni, you'll see as the individual begin to respond. Very well. So, if I am to understand this correctly, your survivors looking for allies, resources, and more, is that wrong?
I wouldn't say we are exactly looking for allies. But if allies can be found, trade can be found, it is definitely welcomed in these lands. We're not here looking for violence. We are here discovering and learning for ourselves, hoping to potentially come back with more information.
We'll see as an individual begin to nod and see. A trade route is a possibility, but if we're here to talk about trade, then this should be done in a more formal manner. Men, lower your arms! We'll see as he begins to call out, and all of them begin to lower their bows and stop pointing them towards you. As
I feel better already.
As this sort of happens, you'll see as they begin to say, "Well, very well. If you would be looking to trade, what resources could you even provide? I'm curious, especially what travelers could wield."
If you don't mind, I'd at least like to know the name of the person I'm speaking with now.
My apologies, War Chief. I am Amir of the Tsamada clan. Though we don't necessarily have a king-like rulership, I am the closest thing you will see or meet that is a leader of our clan.
It is nice to make your acquaintance, respect is something that isn't lost, even amongst the destruction of these lands. If you would like to talk trade, maybe stories, I would appreciate that. The travel and journey here was tedious, to say the least.
As you begin to say that, Zaman and Core, you hear once more, I don't know if this is the time to be talking about trade right now. You see as this individual is kind of like looking around, like looking to the left and right, eyes are sort of darting about for a second. I don't know if we need to hurry this up before it's... Come on. I don't want to... Hopefully he knows what he's doing. And that's what you just kind of hear over and over again. It's some of these individuals looking around. Everybody's passive insight would be able to at least identify most of this. These individuals, though they lowered their weapons and stopped pointing it towards you, they have not stopped looking around in this area and gauging a bit of their surrounding, or stopped gauging a bit of their surroundings.
Cora would look at Zaman and like whisper, and like kind of like look towards the one that said something, and basically gives Zaman that look like, be on your guard. Because she don't know if everyone else heard it, but she's assuming because Zaman's closer, and then maybe Zaman's also looking in the same direction that she was looking.
Yeah, Zaman will whisper back. That one is jumpy. We should watch him closely.
As this is sort of happening, you look over and begin to see as the individual... Oh, hold on. Hold on 1 second. There we go. You'll see as the individual begin to look you up and down before eventually saying, "Very well, you may do so, but there's no point to doing it necessarily in this forest. However," and as they say this, you all begin to hear an ear-piercing screech begin to emanate. You hear and see as there's a bit of a wildlife that begins to start flying off from the distance into like further and further into the forest. You notice as all the sort of Tsamada individuals begin to grab, or not necessarily, they already have their weapons in hand, but they begin to look around and about as they overhear it for a second. Everyone, make a perception check. This is with sight.
Zaman was ready.
Alright, 25,
It's like
23.
her third crit this session, bro. Where was this
Going
when I was
off,
learning
bro.
to move?
25, 23, alright. And then 27, nice. So Cora and Azor, you look over off to the south, and you see as crashing off to the side, you see as bits of the forest, bits of the trees are almost being tossed over left and right. You see as some of them are actually dropping down onto the ground before Zaman, you begin to hear and feel the rumbling of the minerals. In your mind, in your head, you hear this.
Listen, you fool. Something is up. Something is coming. The minerals, they don't like this. I don't like this. Do as I say and be on your guard.
And you see Zaman instantly enter his mineral form. He's gonna tell everybody, prepare. Something's coming. Something's big.
As this begins to happen, you immediately just begin to watch as the minerals begin to cling towards your form, cling towards your arms, and more. As this happens, you would notice as immediately Amir begins to yell out, Everyone, defensive positions. Gather on me. Gather on me. As this happens, looking towards the Voden Knights, you see as he begins to say, "Be on your guard. The force contains many of the afflicted. We need to."
I take it you would like our assistance.
If you are willing to fight, then it would be appreciated, especially as a sign of good faith if we want to work together later.
Consider it done. And Agni would look. Oh, Zura's already gone, but he would look to like. No, you're good. No, you're good. As he does that, you see Agni picks up the scythe that was in the ground, twirls it, and in his other hand, he kind of points forward, signaling to where like Zaman was at, especially for like Addy, Dark, and Gore, who are in the back. And this is their time to go up in the front and see what's up, show off a little.
Mm-hmm. As this begins to happen, you look over, and as you're sort of ordering these individuals, hold on, stop right there, guys, stop right there. I got you. You guys look over, and you see as immediately emerging, you hear the flapping of massive wings. However, you look over, and there's not necessarily just one set of rhythmic flapping. Zaman, you look over and you see something coming from the north as well. You notice as another screech begins to emanate, and emerging out from the side, a massive beast, and begins to look over. They seem to have a web or feathery wings with almost black in nature, kind of like a raven, if you will. The individual doesn't seem to be like a griffin, but it seems to have 3 mouths sort of almost lurching out and lurching from kind of around one another. Several dozen eyes on their forehead, around their cheeks, from what you can tell would be their cheeks, and more. They have 2 almost owl-like claws, as well as a strange, for a lack of a better term, almost like a shark-like tail with a spike onto it. As they begin to emerge out, you see this individual. It seems to be sort of corrupted and sort of tainted in the likes of a strange astral form. And as it begins to do so, it begins to start merging and tearing through the trees and more. However, it is not alone. You look over and off to the side, and you see towards the south, same or similar individuals begin to form as a second one begins to appear. You see and find yourself sort of surrounded from differing positions and sectors. As this happens, you'll see as everybody goes on the defensive, drawing their bows, their arrows, grabbing their swords and shields. Amir is going to look over towards, well, I guess War Chief Agni and say, because you're the one individual who seemed to be the general. Well, warriors, it's time to prove yourselves once more. Looking towards Agni, saying, War Chief Agni, we shall divide and conquer. We'll deal with the one to the south, and you to the north. That being said,
Agni nods, and as he does that, a little flame starts to kick up from him. It seems as if our alliance will be signed in blood.
And blood it shall be signed. And with that, they'll draw their sword. Oculi Eye will begin to start forming. And with that, oh boy, here we go. Everybody, your souls are shackled, and the time for battle is now. Everybody, it's time to roll for initiative. Now, as I do so, here, let me explain a couple things. So,
where'd that 20 go?
Oh God.
So here's what it is. Now, where's my little note? So, the NPCs are helping you in the likes of combat, but for the sake of brevity, the sake of time, and the sake of balance and all that stuff, they'll not be included in the mechanical side of combat. But thematically, they are helping you in this fight. That's the way we're not rolling through 20,000 NPCs as well as the 4 NPCs or whatever that you guys have in your sort of crew. They're all helping. They're all fighting with you. I'm just not having, like, the mechanical stuff. We're just ignoring that. You guys with me?
Yep.
All right.
Good.
The only individual that will actually be helping you, because they're technically a part of your actual crew, is Gashir. But will he really be helping that much? Will he really be helping that much?
Not at all.
Gashir about to get a level up.
He better start Eldritch blasting back here.
Super Saiyan Gashir, here he comes.
I don't know about that. No, I don't know about that.
I don't see. Why can I never find this fucking dice?
Oh, if it's
It's
here.
It's right
Yeah.
next to your armor class.
Here,
There it is. Yeah,
you
okay,
gotta,
okay.
you have to add yourself to initiative, but I got you.
Oh, okay.
All right. For the sake of this, I'm gonna hide these individuals so I can get them out of the way. Out of the way. Bam, bam, bam. Let me throw them over here. Let me throw these individuals out of the way.
Just for my sandy's sake, since I used a new ability for the first time, a howl into the moon. That's Feral Instinct.
Oh, Feral Instinct. Yeah, you just roll with advantage. It rolled for you though. Yeah, you rolled both 18, so you're good. All right. So as this begins to happen, some Modern Warriors will help out. It's gonna be 1 on initiative for you guys. Oh wait, no, they don't help with this one. Never mind. They help after that sort of thing. Okay, so is everybody good to go? Everybody rolled for initiative. All right, sounds good.
I think we're good.
All right, rolling for Gashir. The noxious bleed with a 17. All right, and let's see what this crow has got. Now they're gonna
Possible,
go.
could you just? I was gonna say, could you just move the cat just some corner, just so it's not taking the space?
Oh yeah,
He
yeah,
just
you're
kinda
right.
Sends it off.
Yeah, you got it. Also, so the ancient deep crow will begin to roll for initiative, but here's what will happen. It will. It's rolling to basically see who goes first, but it does go, if it rolls beforehand, before everybody, which it does, it's gonna go after now Adidark, Gashir, and Agni. So yeah, pretty much exactly where it is in initiative. Alright, cool. Alrighty. I think we're good to go. Here is the only things you need to know. Only things you need to know. This fight does not include martial checks, so you do not need to make martial checks or intuition checks or anything like that. You guys are good to go. But there is a couple of traits that you guys need to be aware of. This individual is, oh boy, this individual is capable of something that we haven't really used that much, but only I think 1 time. Legendary actions, as well as it is or it does possess a legendary resistance. So, legendary actions are this, for those of you guys who don't know what legendary actions are. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but TLDR, all you need to know is, they can take what's called a legendary action after somebody's turn, even when it's not their turn on initiative. So for example, Adidark, if you were to go, like let's say, you go over and punch him, or you do whatever you want, the creature can take a legendary action and take, or, do an ability right after you, and it doesn't have to be their turn. That makes sense? They can only do that a certain amount of times, though. Alright. So if everybody's good, let's do this. Alright, top of the round, we have Adidark. As you receive initiative, you look over towards the beast as they screech out into oblivion. What would you like to do? Is this your turn?
For some reason, my foundry died.
Oh, okay.
But I can tell you exactly what I'm gonna do. It's not gonna be anything too complicated.
Alright. Go ahead.
So I was gonna rage into air, go, all Donald Duck up on this bird. I'll show him birds, and I would like to pounce just because I can do it.
Oh shoot, yeah, you do get that, don't you?
Yeah, just because I just like using things for the first time.
So many weird stuff from Tasha's. All right, so what does your feral pounce do again? I forgot.
40 feet. I think if you rage first, it's 40 feet of just like a leap.
It's half your movement. You can move 20.
Sorry, 20 feet.
Okay, so gotcha. So you're gonna have so it gets added towards you. Okay, interesting. That's cool.
This helps barbarians get into melee.
Yeah, that's actually really good because that's like always been a big problem for him. So yeah, if you want, you can get immediately like right in front of the creature's face. You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, I'm gonna definitely unarmed strike this guy 3 times, right?
You got it. As you begin to do so, you rush into the battlefield, almost pouncing towards them as you enter the Wereduck state. Let's make some attack rolls. These are all reckless, right? Or no?
Yes, it's three. Yeah, and three. 2 normal attacks and then 1 from the bear.
Okay. Are these all unarmed strikes or using the batter at all?
All unarmed strikes.
You got it. First attack's gonna be an 11. That will miss. Second one's gonna be a 24. That will hit. Third one will be a 24 again. That will also hit. Let me add the rage damage as well. As you begin to strike into the individual, or slam your fists into them as they begin to writhe back a little bit. You see as the astral particles and pieces begin to start flaking off to the side, but they remain strong and they remain sort of focused on you and also the battlefield. Addy Dark, is that your turn?
Yes, that'll be all. Thank you for. I'm still trying to figure out this found. It's nothing. It's on my side. Don't worry about it.
Nah, you're good. You're good. All right, Gashir, he is going to. He's gonna rush up. Rush up. All right, hear me out, guys. He's gonna do it. He's going to look over, and he's gonna kind of waddle and begin to say, as he enters a Iaijutsu stance for a second, and he says, "Noxious blade, guide me. Oh, draconic sage, grant me power!" As he's gonna cast True Strike. All right, that's his turn.
Oh,
All right, Agni, what would you like to do?
so Agni kind
Actually,
of.
nope. Before Agni goes, he's gonna use a legendary action. Hey, Addy Dark, you just punched the crow? Yeah, he doesn't like that. He's going to look over directly towards you, and he is going to use his. Oh boy, yeah, I figured. And what is this? Make sure I got this right. Yeah. As this begins to happen, you see as he begins to screech out once more, and as he does so, all of you almost begin to start racking your brains with pain, as this is gonna be a 60-foot radius from him. Can't tell how far that is. 60 feet. Yep, so I'm gonna need Addy Dark, make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Yeah, can you do that?
Oh yeah, I got you. My bad. All right, Constitution saving throw. That will succeed, but you will take half damage of 3d6 psychic damage as it begins to scream out into oblivion. Now you are able to resist the other effect, so you're good to go. Or actually, no, never mind. You take no damage on a save. You're good. All right, Agni, you are up. What would you like to do?
So Agni, very rarely being this early in initiative, is basically sounding the drum, the horn of battle, and looking over, he's going to kind of yell out, "Let's actually show off for once. I challenge you all to beat this bird before the others." And as he does so, he's going to grab his arm and take out one of those crystals that are enlarged, and he's going to crush it. And as he crushes it, the gem then forms on Azura's hand, as he is going to cast haste on Azura.
Oh, buddy.
And and as he does that, the gem then transfers over, and a wave of fire goes to Gore as well, as he's going to twin cast this.
Oh man!
As a red gem also enlarges itself into Gore's wings, and as Azura normally has ice around her, there is now a bit of fire around her, as the ice and fire kind of collided, making her pretty much permanently in water stance. And Gore kind of feels the fire of the Oni and the devils course through him, as Agni casts haste on both of them.
Nice. That said, I'm gonna increase your ACs in a bit. Agni, if you can quickly remind them, what does haste do?
So both of their movement speeds are now doubled. They get +2 bonus AC. They get advantage on dexterity saving throws, and when they take the attack action, they can make one more weapon attack.
There you go. Time to crush. All right, Agni, that is your action. You have a bonus action.
As long as you
I'm trying to actually cast it, so it uses. I'll do it later. As he does that, he is going to. Let's see. Gore's probably the closest. He's going to move over to Gore, and bonus action help Gore by pointing out that this thing has multiple eyes, and you're gonna hear Agni say, "You can probably get to the eyes easier than anyone. Eyes are a well-known weak point, especially in beasts. I'd target them first." As he's going to give Gore the help action and kind of fly 10 feet up in the air.
All right. As you begin to do so, you fly up 10 feet. I'll make sure to make a note of that.
Here, and he wants to fly up 10 feet and move 5 feet back. And that's going to be my turn.
You got it. So that's your turn. Next, or top of the round, we have the Crow's turn for initiative. Alrighty.
Cast haste.
Here's what they're gonna do. They are going to, they're going to look over towards Addydark and they're gonna take them for a ride. You'll see as they begin to immediately just bite down onto you and just start clawing you into oblivion. There's gonna be, how many attacks? 3, well, we'll see exactly how many, but they're gonna first make a mandible attack towards you with advantage. And that's a crit.
God. Right.
That reckless.
Only half damage though.
That
Come
reckless.
on, guys. Let's be honest. Come on. Am I really Addy Dark if I'm not under 20 HP? Come on, guys.
All right, so that's going to be 26 points of damage, but it's going to be reduced to 13 points of damage as you are raging. As this happens, you see he just swipes and grabs Addydark immediately before taking off with breakneck speed. As he does so, he flies off to the side, and you notice as he begins to just start clawing and tearing into some of the Tsamans as he flies over and all around. It looks over, and next thing, he is going to take another attack towards Gashir. He's going to do so with advantage. All right, mandible attack. Oh wait, hold on. Not advantage. Whoops. So I will retcon that just in case it misses. Nope. 23 is still going to hit. 22 points of damage towards Gashir. As this sort of happens, you'll see as Gashir begins to almost scream out in pain and terror for a moment. As this happens, he is also grappled as well. As a second attack, final attack, you'll see as the bird is going to take the last bit of its movement, and they're going to just drop down into the massive field with all of you, and they're going to roar out and just try to bite down onto... all right, so either Agni or Zaman. All right, Agni, odd or even?
Odd? I'm also, it probably doesn't matter, I'm also in the air. There's no opportunity attacks, or are they both just grappled?
Nah, they're just grappled.
Did he go past Gore?
Where's
Gore right now?
Hold on, he's on top. Yeah, he's on top of
He's
Gore
on
right
top
now.
of Gore.
Yeah, this thing is a big beast. So, that's fair. All right, I'll tell you what. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so Agni, you're gonna be 1. Gore, you're gonna be 2. Zaman, you're gonna be 3. 4 is a reroll. All right, that's gonna be 1. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
No.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, and that is towards. Oh god, I already forgot. Fucking goldfish brain. That's Agni, right?
1, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's gonna be... yeah, it's gonna be with the claws. Alright, attack roll. That's gonna be a 16 to hit. That will miss. As it tries to swipe out towards you once more, you see as it's not able to necessarily reach over, as you're able to almost dodge out of the side, just barely missing inches away.
Yeah, you would see Agni kind of take the scythe and then put it right between its claws. And as it does, a little bit of fire comes out of his nose. And he's going to say, "Now we have you right where we want you."
All right, and with that, Gore, literally right beside the beast, what would you like to do as you're right in combat with it? I'm gonna move your token a little bit because you got pushed back out of the way from its from the wind.
All right. Gore, I guess Gore with haste would kind of almost have him a little bit like almost zooted. He'd be like, and he's only in crush mode, buddy. Like, but I guess since he feels a little bit connected with Zora with it, he's actually gonna do the Crimson Right with the new Frozen. Might as well. You know?
Nice. As you begin to watch as the axe of Dindar freezes over with ice, Let's see what you got.
Gotta
So
roll
you
a
got-
D6, right? D6, right?
Yes, D6. I think it upgrades soon.
You also have advantage on your first attack from help.
Oh yeah, that's right. So 5
Got
points
you.
of damage. I already got it. All right, let's
All
swing.
right.
Let's crush.
So this man is now he's got that. We just getting. It only makes sense for me to swing, but right. So this is first. Coming out the gate.
Natural 20 right out the gate. You said if he
Out the
crits,
gate.
I can crit as well. That means that's going to be an extra 2d6 because of the crimson right. So roll for that. Oh
That's
my
fair.
god. 10 more points of damage. Nice. So Gore with the first single strike. What does this kind of look like as you're swinging towards him?
Gore is he reached up and he reached up real slow because the thing ended up being frozen a little bit. Now Gore is just that's all he's doing. He's just converting this shit right now. So
That said, hey, we got 2 more attack rolls, so let's go. 2 more attacks.
two more attacks. This is 1
25 will hit, and then 1 more.
there, right?
We'll just roll the d6s at the end.
Okay, no problem. 1 more of that. That one misses.
14 will miss, but roll the d6 for the original or the second one. 4 more
Gotcha.
points of damage. You'll see as you strike over and over towards them, bits of their feathers are freezing over like ice. Gore, is that your turn, or are you moving anywhere?
Gore has extra attack. It didn't count, did it?
Yeah, it did. That's why you made 3 attacks.
You rolled 3 attacks.
The first swing?
Yeah, you made 3 attacks.
Okay, got you. Copy. Since that's it, what it is. And now they have it disadvantaged because of my crit. And
Oh yeah, that's right.
Gore is gonna zip back right here. I'm on the ruler. My bad. As the ruler goes. And Gore right here with it.
All right, as you begin to zip past, trying to get a little bit of a defensive position, you get out of the way and you're ready to go. All right, Cora, what would you like to do as you receive initiative?
Cora's gonna go. Wait. For some reason I can't move.
Make sure you're on the right tool.
I think I got it now.
There you go.
And then she's gonna bonus action use her beacon of strength.
You got it. As you activate your channel divinity and become a beacon of strength, you watch as Iroas guides you and your allies as you begin to start shining with the divine light. That is your bonus action. You do have a normal action though.
And she's gonna guide them both.
You got it. As you begin to do so, you hold out the holy symbol and begin to fire off into oblivion, trying to destroy this guy. Make an attack roll.
Oh yeah, I forgot what that target. Found it.
There. I wonder if it did the one thing again. Nah. Alright, cool. You good to cast a spell?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Alright, 18 to hit, 21 points of damage. You fire it off as it strikes into him, exploding off. You notice as you almost begin to brand the likes of almost said Heliod. You begin to brand the likes of Iroas' symbol into the feathers and more. As it sears itself in, they glow and allow another creature to get advantage on their strike. Alright, Cora, that's your action, that's your bonus action. Is that your turn?
And the 5 from Beacon of Strength.
Oh, yeah. Alright, 5 added. Alright, so that would be your go. Zaman, you're next. Azora, you are after Zaman. What you got for us, Zaman?
Zaman's gonna do what he does best. He's going to call lightning.
Alright, remember, don't cast a spell.
I'm not. He's gonna call lightning though.
Alright, so that's a dexterity saving throw as you begin to watch as you hold your hand up towards the sky, similar to like the Hydra, and you call down the wrath of the storm onto them.
let me ask you.
Mhm.
This is something Zaman hasn't done. He's going to try to channel that lightning he saw when they were flying up to see if he can do additional damage.
You look up and above, you're kind of above the clouds. We're trying to channel the lightning around. This mineral. You know what? Let's humor this. All right, Zaman, make a wisdom check for me. Let's see what happens.
Copy.
Maybe next time, but keep that in mind. You can keep trying throughout it. But you call down the lightning first as you begin to strike down into them. They will need to make their dexterity saving throw. You can roll for damage while I'm doing that. Ugh. 20. They will succeed, but they will take 10 points of lightning damage regardless as it strikes down into them. You see as they screech out as they're almost completely dropped prone for a brief moment in time. Zaman, is that your turn or you got anything else?
That is it.
All right, Azora, you're up. Addydark is next. What you got for us, Azora?
So, you see, yeah, get there one move. So you see as Azora's the flames are going around her, and she is like dripping because of the ice, so like just water picking up. She looks at the thing and shifts straight into ice form, and she her ice sword stance. And she throws her sword at it. I mean, this is all flavoring.
Yeah.
But she throws her sword at it, moves 15 feet, and then teleports up to where the sword is to drag herself down from like its leg.
Nice. As you begin to do so, let's see. Make some attack rolls. You have a total of 3 because you are hasted right now.
Yep. Let's see.
First one's at advantage from Guiding Bolt. Oh god.
Oh my god, we're just critting out.
Yo.
Don't even need
Oh, I
it.
told y'all. We better kill this thing before them.
Holy. Go ahead.
So she slides down on it. So the technically that's 29 because I get +1 to damage.
Oh my bad, my bad.
Yeah, so she slides down on it, and then as she takes the sword up, it teleports a bit up again to do it again.
You got it. That's just the first strike. Second strike. Let's go.
Yep.
26 to hit, 12 points of damage. You teleport off to the side and begin to strike into them for the second time. That said, you see as the flames from Agni's Hellfire is beginning to form, you do have a third strike.
Yep. So yeah, that was technically 13. But
Here, I'm just trying to like move your token so I can actually like see where you're at. There's like sometimes on my...
and it's a +5 to all these damages because the chorus thing, right?
No, you have to be beside her to do that. Right.
Yeah, wasn't it like right here? Like,
Okay.
was it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
If you're right here, then yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
good.
just flavoring like I'm teleporting around them.
Yeah,
But
you're fine.
yeah.
You're fine. Okay, cool. As long as you got that good, we're good to go. So that would be extra damages then. I'm gonna add all that in a minute, but you can make your third strike.
Copy. Yeah. So then, so like I said, yeah, she teleports, and then she slides back down it again for yet another strike.
20 to hit, 17 more points of damage. That's gonna be an extra.
And then you see as her eye begins to glass over, and the fire that's around her, where it's creating water, you see just ice just take over as she goes to action surge.
Oh my god! Alright, Jesus. So when people ask, like, hey yo, I think I can beat the Voden Knights in a PvP game. I think I can do it. No, you can't. You really can't. You really can't. Guys, you don't understand. You don't understand. You guys have done 160 damage in one turn.
Bro, we do this, bro.
And
I
so
don't get it.
as her eye glasses over, she actually leaves ice stance to now switch into the water stance.
You got it. Make some attack or 2 more attack rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is badly injured. Jesus. 22 to hit, 17 points of damage plus the extra 3 from Cora. You do have your
5.
Why is it 5 again?
Her beacon of strength.
Yeah, it's equal to your wisdom modifier. Yeah, the damage is equal to your proficiency bonus, which is +3.
Oh shit.
Don't worry, I was making sure. I was making sure.
But yeah, but since she's in water stance, that 17 is actually 2, so +3 is
Got you.
22. 22 damage.
Got you, and your final strike.
Yep, and she goes again.
16. This one will miss. You see, as this one misses you, Zora, you notice as it's because it's flapping its wings massively at this moment in time, and you notice as immediately it's beginning to get a little bit harder to sort of stand your ground before you are blown backwards. Zora, is that your turn or anything else? Oh, did Discord crash? I think Discord crashed. Hold up.